for the high. Tonight, still scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, 72. Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny. Some spot thunderstorms, but rather limited. 92 degrees and very humid on Tuesday. Tuesday night, clear skies, only 76. Wednesday, sunny, hottest so far this season and probably the hottest of the week. 96 for the high Wednesday afternoon. The record is 100 from 1953. Still hot on Thursday, then we cool back a little bit on Friday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by i3 Broadband. Spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, spring forward with the longest price guarantees ever on gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. It's cloudy and 80 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy rainy Monday, which this could have been all weekend. Mondays are tough for a rainy day.
Oh, it's the best.
I'm okay with
Won't
weekends.
mess up my weekend tournaments.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't want that. That's chaos. You have no idea how weird that is when you've got to when a tournament has to reschedule 12 games and they all have to move and they. Ugh.
Oh, I think Rach and I have some idea, don't we, Rach?
Not great.
We schedule a lot of little kids' baseball games.
Well, I don't have to do it.
You
just
know
have to
everything about us.
You just sit around and wait for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and your whole day is just ruined.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah.
Anyone heard from the young man?
Heard from him earlier as he was boarding his flight to Portland.
Well, la-di-da.
Oh, I know. He's just traveling all over the
Certainly
place.
is. Multiple destinations in one trip.
I mean, made it out of Vegas. That's a positive.
Yeah. No whale sightings?
Well, I mean, there are always whales in Vegas, just not the swimming kind.
Everyone else okay? Decent weekend?
Yeah, it's a nice weekend.
Yeah, nice. Good.
Had to turn on the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Wait, just now?
I had been making it stretch.
My Lord.
You
I'm
get
with
a
Rach.
fan
I'm a stretcher, too.
Yeah,
Are ya?
you got a fan blowing on
Oh,
you, it's
man.
not so bad. But it reaches a point where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is
do it,
nuts. You like walk up the stairs and you're drenched in sweat. It's like, okay, time to turn on the AC.
Yeah, that's me at 72.
I need to give a new friend a shout out. I went down to the game with Nick and his buddy Jack on Friday, and I took an Uber down, and a great dude named Derek was my driver. We just got to talking and was telling him what I did for a living, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And he's from Chicago. Only been here for 3 months and getting to know the city and the people. And I said, I'll give you a shout out. So he has his daughter listening with him. Hello, Derek. Welcome to St. Louis.
Awesome.
Nice to see people move in and sit about, right?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool dude. It's amazing how much you can get to know someone in like a 5-minute ride.
And you know what? Uber does seem like it would be a great way to get to know the city.
Mm-hmm.
Like driving people around, you get to see the roads, you get to see all the different parts of St. Louis.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can I get the Trump Kristen Welker stuff out of the way? And we're gonna play it for you, and it's pretty long, and I think it's important for a couple of reasons. You know, we ignore most of the Trump stories out there. You could do them 4 hours a day, literally, but this one I think is a little more important. I have a take that is a little different from any other take that I've heard, and it's very simple and concise. And we'll see if you guys agree. So Trump did meet the press. And it was kind of a screwed up interview because they were in some sort of a big barn and it was really torrential rain and they had to keep stopping and stuff like that, which, you know, that's kind of stuff that normal people go through, frustrations. And then at the end, she started really pressing him. And if you watch Meet the Press, Kristen Welker, the one thing she really does is she really pushes, really presses. And she was pressing the president on his claims of stolen election in 2020 and recent stolen elections in California. And they're being stolen as we speak. And, well, you don't have any evidence. You just got pissed her, and this is what it sounds like.
Sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's appropriate?
That's how they count the votes in California.
Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a winner?
State and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote in California.
They're crooked, just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
really?
Let's
Well,
continue.
you play right into their hands.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid. You play right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But, Mr. President,
you know why I got that? Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd.
You have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
your
about
your elections in this country. We're like a third world country.
But, sir,
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain with you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be great with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
Okay, that's the long and short of it. I don't think anyone cares that she traveled to Wisconsin.
No, nobody cares about your day. That's your job. You got paid to do it.
Yeah, whatever.
You didn't do it on your own time, so shut it.
But a couple of takes. My first one is I don't care what their party is, what their gender is, what their last name is. Any president of the United States should be able to regulate their emotions better than that. And when those sorts of outbursts come in predictable ways, you know, he typically does this on a woman. He typically does it on a woman of color. He typically does it when he is being pressed on something that he doesn't have an answer for. So that's my first thing that, you know, you can't say regulate yourself because the horse is out of the barn. He never has. He never will. But I'm not okay with that. But, Wheels, here's my next thing. I think the president is being incredibly un-American. And let's take that apart for just a second. To be un-American, syllogistic logic, means there has to be a thing that is being American, which some people may disagree with. They may say, no, the whole American, un-American thing, that's not a real thing. 350 million of us, melting pot. There are no real American values. I might feel that way if I were 31, but being 61 and growing up the way I did, in the environment I did, in the schools that I did, being parented the way I was, I've changed my mind a bit. I've rounded out some of the rough edges on what I thought was propaganda and what was actually happening. But I, for one, still feel like there are some American values. And one of them, and this could be the athlete in me, but guys, we were taught from the jump, at least I was, and definitely as an athlete, you don't gloat when you win, and you don't act like a bitch when you lose. And I think that's an American value. It's one that I personally value. And to see the president refuse to admit the tiniest loss, and it is as simple as if he loses or someone who he endorses, it's rigged. There's no such thing as him losing validly. And keeping it very simple, I find that to be very un-American and very disappointing.
It's also incredibly childish to not be able to accept a loss. And this is the thing, when you're pressed on a claim, if your claim is these elections were absolutely rigged, there's mountains of evidence, then your reply should contain that evidence. So if you come to me on a topic that I'm arguing and you say you have no proof of this, I'm going to go, here's XYZ. This legal case, this finding, this report by the intelligence committee, whatever it happens to be. That's how you handle when you have the facts on your side, that's how you handle it. You simply present them. That's all you need to do. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have all of that evidence, number one, your lawyers didn't win a single case in court that showed any kind of election fraud. None. And in fact, when pressed by judges, your lawyers, including Rudy Giuliani, said out loud, we are not claiming fraud. This is not a fraud claim, because they didn't have the evidence to present that claim in court. So if there's a mountain of evidence, why doesn't whitehouse.gov have a page that shows it all? Why can't you just say, hey, go to the White House website. It's all there. Right here on one page. It's right there. Or why not present what you have actually won in court or where you have the facts? That's the part as a professional arguer that bothers me the most. He's just throwing flack into the air. It's not that hard if you have the proof on your side to just say, okay, Kristen, let's walk through this right here. And maybe even have it printed out. Have your people print it out. Have someone that's on your staff always have a link on their phone. Here, Kristen, my assistant's going to send you the link with all of this evidence. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to show it to you. That's how you show that you're right.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any evidence.
Well, no, of course, that is entirely the point.
Exactly.
Right?
He doesn't have any evidence, so he personally attacks her and bullies her. And you're right, Dave. He has a pattern of doing this with people that he perceives as weaker than him. He feels very comfortable calling these people stupid and crooked and berating them and walking out. I mean, that's obviously not okay. It's not how you want anyone to speak to anyone. It's just not okay to treat each other like that, especially in a professional environment. But it always really bothers me when the president refers to the United States of America as a third world country, and he does that frequently. He talks about our country negatively on a global stage all of the time.
Did you notice how he was saying to Welker, your elections?
Yes. What do you mean by, and that's the other thing is like, he's losing it, guys. Like, he's losing it. When you say he can't regulate his emotions, he literally can't. You don't think if he could, he would make a better choice than this and have a better strategy? But it doesn't exist. Like, any lid he was able to put on it before, I feel like is totally gone. And he doesn't even really make that much sense whenever he speaks on these things anymore. Because, yeah, he's talking about it as if he is not a part of this country. You are the president of this country.
Yeah.
So when you refer to the United States of America as a third world country and you say your elections, sir, it's your elections. It's all of our elections. What is it that you are? It just feels like he's having a meltdown and has no control over the words that are coming out of his mouth. And one last thing, I wouldn't even say that Kristen Welker was pressing him. She just simply wasn't allowing him to lie and control the narrative, which is what he wants and expects. All she was saying there was, well, we don't have any proof of that. Let's move on and let's talk about Todd Blanche. She was trying to give him an out, and she was trying to change the subject and continue the interview. But since he couldn't get his way and assert that the elections were stolen with no pushback whatsoever, he has to end the interview and walk out.
If they have these mountains of evidence, then why aren't people going to prison?
Great question.
If you have all this evidence, I mean, evidence is what you use in court to prosecute people who committed crimes. Election fraud is a crime.
Also,
so where are the people going to jail?
I have no party. I'm not a Republican because of how these a-holes look now. I'm not a Democrat for lots of policy reasons. But I'll tell you what, I would rather be a Democrat because they are evidently friggin' geniuses. Because they stole the 2020 election.
But not 2024.
But not 2024.
Yeah, I guess it was just like,
and
they
now
were born out after
stealing,
2020.
They're stealing California. So the Democrats
stealing the place that's gone left for 100 years?
Can rig any election they want at any time with such subtlety that they win the presidency but not Congress.
Well, that's
impressive.
I think that's where, when you're looking at this, if you have an inclination to believe these claims, if you ask yourself one question, if they're so good at this, if there are these, if there's a Wizard of Oz behind the curtain somewhere controlling all of it, why do you lose major branches of the government? Why did you lose to Trump the second time if you have rigged elections? Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't hold up to 2 seconds worth of critical thought.
No, it's not difficult.
You could have swung the Senate just by going 2 more. If you can rig the presidential election, you're telling me you can't rig 2 more Senate seats to flip the whole thing? I mean, like, it's such a nonsensical premise that it's hard to even try to get into quote unquote facts because it doesn't make any sense. If you were going to rig it, you wouldn't just go 1/3 of the way and then stop.
No.
And then let it come back again.
No one but Trump is accusing the Democrats of being geniuses.
No, they're a bunch of morons. They can't even get their own presidential candidate right. And we're thinking that they're like, you got these wizards behind the screen that are pulling things off.
Jeez. Anyway, that was my take. Refusing to admit any sort of a loss, to me personally, is very un-American. That's not what we're about. That's not what we're made of. That's not how we were raised. That's not, what is it even? Why are you putting your hand over your heart? Why are you showing any respect? Why? Because you happen to be born on this plot of land? No, because you associate certain traits to that country. Mm-hmm. And that's why you are proud to be from that country. Mm-hmm. Not because you have a despot running things and keeping the people you don't like at bay. It's because you think that we have altruistic, honorable traits. And one of them, to me, has always been you don't gloat when you win and you don't bitch about it when you lose. And you certainly don't deny every single tiny loss you've ever had and blame it on someone cheating or someone this or that. That is very un-American.
Yeah.
And I would hope we could all agree on that.
And you've had 6 years to present the evidence you say you have.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Okay. Let me shift quickly and talk to you about my friend John Moriarty at E3 Wealth. As you know from listening to the show, John is a financial guy. I am not a financial guy. I'm the farthest thing away from a financial guy you're going to meet all week. And if you're the same, then you probably need a financial guy, especially if you own a business, because here's the thing. Yeah, you can get rich owning businesses. You can get rich being an entrepreneur, but you can also lose it all in a very short amount of time. That's where John Moriarty comes in. He is aggressive, especially with ethically avoiding taxes, but he is also a very, what am I trying to say? He's just, he's a professional. He's seasoned. He's mature. He doesn't make big mistakes. Of course, everyone makes little ones. So if you own a business or have an entrepreneurship and you'd like to talk to someone about your finances or get maybe some advice from a business coach, go to e3wealth.com.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills. Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Michelle from Bethesda. You've probably heard me talk with Dave on the air about Bethesda in general, but not specifically about the Bethesda Terrace Independent Living Community in Oakville. What makes Bethesda Terrace truly special is our gorgeous 10-acre backyard with water features and walking paths. It's the perfect place to relax and enjoy yourself with friends. And if you have a dog, we have a dog park. Our experienced team would love to show you how easy it is to join the Bethesda family. Go to BethesdaHealth.org and click Contact Us. Complete the form. We'll take it from there.
City SC's Summer of Soccer, presented by Purina, kicks off on Friday, June 12th with the biggest soccer celebration in St. Louis. This festival-style watch party on Lou Fuse Plaza at Energizer Park is free for all and open to the public. Show up at 5 p.m. for live music, local food and drink, giveaways, special appearances, and a live viewing of USA versus Paraguay on 5 massive screens. Learn more at summerofsoccerstl.com.
Artistic Decks. For 26 years, we've been making dreams affordable in the St. Louis area. With an A-plus BBB rating, we're the team you can trust. Let us build your dream deck. Artistic Decks. For a free consultation, call us at 314-280-0821.
Zero Res wants to help clean your home. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at just $129 and take an additional $100 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and ask for the DGS special.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for suffering through with us. Thanks for debating with us and sharing your thoughts with us. You can go to YouTube or Facebook and you can watch the stream where you can comment. And now that Andrew's not here, you can say stuff. But no, the guys know that the only time we've ever blocked someone is when they were being personal, or when they were just taking over the stream for their own reasons.
Or attacking other people on commenting on the stream, yeah.
Yes, but you can say like, oh my God, Glover, you're so full of crap.
Yeah.
Trump, the Democrats have stolen these elections. Great. Let's debate. Let's hear the facts. Before we leave this topic, Wheels, being the sports guy, what do you make of the president going to the Knicks game tonight?
I've never liked it. Partly because it's a selfish thing in my life where I've covered games where a president is there and it's a pain in the ass. So from that end, I don't love that it gets done. But it's nothing specific to Trump. I get it. They're humans too, and in his case, I'm not sure he always rips the NBA, which is why it's weird to me that he wants to make a big deal out of this. But it's also the biggest show in New York, so you got to be a part of that. But in general,
I would think he would get roundly booed, except for the fact that tickets are $9,000.
I saw Darren Ravel, who's a sports business guy, say that because of all of the chaos caused by his visit, the ticket prices on the secondary market are dropping.
Oh.
Like you can get in now at like $3,500, $4,000, where before it was way above that. Now again, that's not because of him. It's because of what goes with it. Do you want to spend $10,000 to sit in the nosebleeds and have to wait 2 hours to get in the building and go through all the chaos? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just coming down naturally because the prices were so high.
Maybe you'd call me a liar to my face, and maybe I am. But I, like Wheels, wouldn't care who the president was.
Yeah.
I don't like these things. And I don't care about the Knicks. I don't care about the NBA. I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
But I do care. It bothers me some that the people who have been gathering outside and watching it outside the Garden, I think that's cool. And now they're not going to be able to do that.
That's right.
I think that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not. This is definitely, to me, this is not a Trump thing because I felt similar ways about Obama making appearances. George W. Bush was famous for going to baseball games. And again, there's nothing individual about any of those people. I just think when you're the president of the United States and you're coming to a very crowded place, it's causing chaos for everybody there. And it doesn't really add that much to it, right? It's not like,
no.
I
don't think anyone cares.
My experience was enhanced because the president was somewhere in the building at the same time I was in the building.
Yeah.
But there are people that disagree. That's cool. I'm just, I'm very selfish about that. Please don't make my parking more difficult. Please don't make my day twice as long because now it's going to take that much longer to go through security.
Amen. Tell you guys about Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Here's the thing. In most, how am I going to say this? My humble opinion, could be wrong, but it seems to me, having been alive for 61 years and done a few real estate transactions and learned about the law, and Nick has his license and, worked in the industry for a couple of years, that there's a bigger gap between the really good realtors and the not so great realtors than there is in most businesses and most careers. I think there's nothing wrong with getting your real estate license and selling 2 or 3 homes a year. That's a great side hustle. I don't have that kind of hustle. You're making an extra 20, 30 grand, whatever it is. Good for you. But to compare that to the Gelman team, who are full-time, dozens of agents who've been doing this for decades, really successfully. I have personal experience with them. I've done a few transactions with them, and they were absolutely great. Great communication, great negotiators all the way around, super professional. You can find out what the Gelmans think your house is worth right now by going to the front page of thegelmanteam.com. Call 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show. It's not the same old talk. It's fresh, it's different, and it's local. Chris and Amy dig into the news that matters, but they also keep it light, keep it fun, and keep you smiling. Serious when it needs to be, silly when it can be. That's pure entertainment with a local heartbeat. The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays at 9 on the Voice of St. Louis. 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for their 26-point tune-up. It's one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Our unsettled start to the work week continues as we go through our Monday afternoon. Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms around. Very humid. There will be some heavy downpours from time to time and some lightning. 86 for the high. Tonight, still scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. 72. Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny. Some spot thunderstorms, but rather limited. 92 degrees and very humid on Tuesday. Tuesday night, clear skies, only 76. Wednesday, sunny, hottest so far this season and probably the hottest of the week. 96 for the high Wednesday afternoon. The record is 100 from 1953. Still hot on Thursday, then we cool back a little bit on Friday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And it's 1:30. This time check is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
The Gatlin brothers and Crystal Gale are coming to the Family Arena for one magical night of country and Christmas, December 17th. It's the Gatlin Brothers Farewell Tour, and Crystal Gale is joining them to celebrate an evening of country's greatest hits and beautiful Christmas music. Don't miss the Gatlin Brothers and Crystal Gale. Tickets are available at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster.
Mickey Dolenz, 60 Years of the Monkees. One night celebrating the music from their hit TV show, The Monkees, and a generation of adoring fans. Friday, November 13th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. All the biggest hits and intimate stories from the groundbreaking hit show. Mickey Dolenz. On sale at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can. Many times, we're forced to take them to court. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Their high-paid lobbyists are on a mission to make sure that at trial, jurors are not allowed to learn that the at-fault party has insurance and in some cases, lots of it. I can think of no case in all my years where there was no insurance for the at-fault party. So let's fight back. It's all these bullies understand. Tell everybody you know the truth. If you've been injured in a car crash or hurt at a store or business, visit forthepeople.com. We're here 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Get inside your Redbirds and the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Did you guys hear about the Pentagon removing certain religions from the list of basically acceptable religions? So I'll get this wrong. I apologize. Didn't do a deep dive on this, but I think they pared it down to about 35, most of which are just different sects of Christianity. But they took out atheists, they took out humanists, they took out Wiccan. But the one that's really causing the kerfuffle, especially from the senators from Utah, they took out Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, took away the demarcation that they were Christian. And, of course, there's a big debate within religiosity, whether they're Christian or not Christian or this or that. But this is the first time I know of, could be wrong, that the U.S. government has taken upon themselves to pick and choose. And the Pentagon saying, hey, nothing to see here. This is to make the job of our chaplains easier. To which I would say, you know what? I think a chaplain worth their medal can meet any individual warfighter where they need to be met. Whether they are a Southern Baptist or they're an atheist and they're going through some sort of emotional existential problem, or they're Buddhist, that's a tall order. But I don't think you need to take certain religions and just put a line through them on the index card that the chaplain gets. Thoughts?
Okay. So it's not like, oh, if you're Wiccan, you can't join the military. It's just we are not going to provide a chaplain for you if you ask for one.
Correct.
I mean, it feels like anyone who asks for one should be able to talk to any leader of any faith. I mean, what if you want to get saved real quick before something, or what if you want to convert to Judaism? I don't know. I think any of our military members should have the opportunity to talk with whoever. Feels kind of crazy to be like, no, you kind of have to declare in advance, and then we'll assign you a chaplain.
Yeah, and I think there's something like 3,000 quote-unquote recognized religions in the world. I wouldn't expect any individual to know all of those and be able to say, like, oh, you're a Zoroastrian. Let's talk about Zoroaster. I don't expect that.
Right.
But it just seems sort of like, oh, did you really have to?
Was this a pressing problem?
Great question.
Like, were they getting complaints? Like,
don't know.
Chaplains are like, I just don't know anything. Like, it seems like you're creating a problem where one didn't really exist. And you can have 22 different denominations of one religion, but you can't allow a person to say they're a humanist. I mean, I guess they can be it. You just can't.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any counseling. It's just a weird. It just doesn't.
I'm super confused.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. There doesn't seem to be any good purpose to it. I also find it kind of interesting that several significant politicians who are Mormon and they represent Utah or both are really upset about that one particular thing, but not taking up the argument for the others. Like, the whole point here is that we shouldn't be picking teams based on this when it comes to government jobs. And that's essentially what being in the military is. It's a government job. It's an important one. It's more, it's more needed and necessary than a lot of the other fluff. It's not fluff. It's real. But that's what it is. And how are we just doing this like cafeteria style? This one's okay. This one's not. Pick this one. Don't pick that one. I thought it was supposed to be all of it's okay.
So Hegseth said the number of codes used by service members to identify faith had ballooned to well over 200. Now they've whittled it down to this 31.
Does that save us money?
See, again.
What's the point?
Again, like, first of all, why do you need codes? But, okay, so there were 200 ways that people identified. So who are you to decide that you're going to whittle it down to 31? Most of them being different sects of the same religion.
Yeah, because are 22 of them, of the 31, are 22 of the 31 Christian denominations, or is that all under one? Is it okay?
I don't know. That's the way
I haven't seen it laid out, but yeah, it allows for. So it's okay to get super specific within under one umbrella, but not include Mormons or any other specific group. It's a weird one to pick.
Yeah. Hexet's also coming under fire from a lot of Republicans.
Yeah.
Because on D-Day, he gave a speech, and just in the middle of the speech, really, truly apropos of nothing, he just started going off on our former European allies and saying, you got to get your borders taken care of because all these people, it's an invasion. And the D-Day invasion were men coming on a beach with different, views. And that's what this is. And even Republicans are like, dude, read the room, man. It's D-Day. And these are other countries. It's not your country.
Yeah. And you're not a diplomat, right? I mean, you're not an ambassador. You're not you're not a diplomat. You are Secretary of Defense. And yes, I know what they call it. I think it's stupid, so I'm not saying it.
What do they call it?
The Secretary of War. I think it's the stupidest thing ever.
One more thing, MAGA, and I'm going to go the other way on this one. Dan Marino, former Dolphins Hall of Fame quarterback, was photographed, I believe, at Mar-a-Lago wearing a MAGA hat. And, reading the comment section of anything, you can read the comment section of Highlights Magazine and find some terrible stuff. But it was pretty bad, just basically, now I know why he never won a championship. Now I know why he's such a loser and he's such a dirtbag. And look, I disagree with pretty much everything MAGA, but I'll support your right to do it. I may tell you shouldn't. I may tell you you're wrong. If you'll allow me to, I may try to demonstrate for you, which you can then push back on. But just to take someone who before this you were fine with, but then they put a hat on, you're like, piece of crap. I'm just not down with that.
I'm with you. People are allowed to be what they are. And if you're talking about policies and you're debating issues, well, then we can have those debates. There's nothing wrong with arguing. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. You don't judge people immediately because they happen to vote for someone or like someone or whatever it is. If that person does bad things, like, or things that don't make any sense, like we were just talking about with Hegseth, well, we can then criticize that. But if they just this just happened. I had somebody on Twitter brought it up, and I didn't answer it because I don't do anything remotely political on Twitter. I'm not going to do it. Was like the University of Miami coach, Mario Cristobal, was going to bring Trump in to talk to the team. And he's like, what do you think? I'm like, I don't care. I truly don't care. It's fine. And if the players don't like it, then they can not attend, or they can just ignore it, or they can sit there quietly. I mean, it's fine. I would feel the same way about players that didn't want to be there if Obama was there. It doesn't matter. It's okay if someone has that sensibility, maybe even knows the person involved, and they're going to bring him in to, make some point or make an impression or whatever their reasoning is. Doesn't bother me.
I tell you who I have less patience with, and that's quote unquote cute candidates like Pratt in California or Plattner in Maine. Like when you have to turn yourself into such a pretzel because of this person's alleged bad deeds, maybe it's time to find someone else.
Yeah.
Just overall, not this guy in particular, but just I've lost my flavor for interesting candidates.
Yeah, and also the team dynamic, right? Well, they're on the team I tend to go with, so I'm going to have to follow them. No, you don't. You don't have to support that. You can say, nope, not voting for that person because they're terrible.
What do you mean, like bending yourself into a pretzel? In regards to them being a cute candidate, I guess I'm not understanding the connection there.
Like Plattner, had a Nazi tattoo for 18 years, and I didn't know it, and I did know it, and said a bunch of terrible things about fellow soldiers and all the stuff with him and his wife. And, at some point, you just get to the point where you're like, yeah, maybe this isn't the best choice.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people like that for that reason. Like the thing on Plattner is he's a junkyard dog. He's what we need. He fights dirty. He'll go after Trump. He's not a statesman. And I don't know, maybe that's exactly what the Democrats need, and I don't have to worry about it because I don't live in Maine or California.
Right.
But if we had a candidate like that in Missouri, even if it were, I don't have a side anymore, but even if it was something I was comfortable with the party, I don't think I would do it. And go back before Trump, and I was one of those people on my show saying things like, throw out every person in Congress, and I'd rather hire my next door neighbor. And then we did. I don't think it went great.
No, I think that's something we've all gotten wrong for a lot. I mean, we need different people, but we don't need quote unquote outsiders. We need smart, honest people. That's the really only categorizations that I care about. Are you honest and are you smart? I think smart people figure out solutions to problems. I think honest people are going to be honest. And we've been for so long. I mean, honesty, it's not even a criteria in politics. It's just assumed you're going to lie and BS, and it's just going to, and this is not new. I mean, it's my entire adult life where being truthful, being honest doesn't get you anywhere. It's actually a negative. I mean, when you have the president of the United States 30 plus years ago saying, I guess that depends on what the definition of the word is. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm a big believer in that. If you will lie to your closest family members, you will lie to me in a heartbeat. So to me, those are lines in the sand. I have to be able to trust you, and I have to think you're not an idiot.
Tell you guys about Dr. Maupin and her daughter, Dr. Rachel Sullivan at BioBalance Health. Let's talk a little bit about BioBalance Skin on this iteration of my live endorsement. You know, they do the pellets. You know, they do the testosterone pellets. I've been getting them for 7 years, Trish for 8 years. Both really, really like them. But on the skin side, they don't have anything permanent. They don't do facelifts or surgeries or things like that. A few needles, Botox and fillers and chemical peels and microneedling. They have tons of different procedures and treatments that make your face look younger, less wrinkled. I've had them. They work. I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to expected pain, like most people are. And, I keep going back. The people there are super, super cool. It's beautiful. It's a med spa environment. But I'm telling you, no one's uppity. No one has an attitude. Everyone's really cool. Whether it's for the pellets or for BioBalance Skin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Brian Adams is bringing the Roll with a Bunches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Brian Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Brian Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Girardo. Brian Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Love your low mortgage rate but need extra cash? Don't refinance. Get a Scott Credit Union home equity line of credit for home renovations or debt consolidation. Learn more at scu.org. Rates vary. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The NBA Finals are going on right now. And right now, new FanDuel customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. This is a really great promotion that FanDuel is doing, and they do a lot of them throughout the year. And it's the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA Finals. You can play your game any way you want, and best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS. I've had some takes this hour. I stand behind them all. I think they're good takes. You ready for a really bad one?
All right.
If I had to choose between watching the final round of a professional golf tournament or watching people play at Forest Park, I think I'm going to watch the people play at Forest Park.
Amen.
Okay, why do you say this?
Now, we're talking about on TV for the golf?
Yeah.
Okay, because in person, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I think I'd rather see someone slice it 180 yards than like, oh, I'm 18 inches farther than I thought I would. It's just like, I'm just kind of bored.
Well, the people that are out there playing in any course, they're going to be far more entertaining.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're going to be laughing and joking, and some of them are going to be drinking beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Forest Park golf course. I was actually just down on Urt Hill yesterday and admiring their golf course. It's so cool that we have something like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy take, Dave.
I thought you'd kill me for that one.
No, I mean, look, I can't watch golf on TV, and I'm not blaming anybody that does. My whole family does. You know, my dad's a huge golf fan. In person, it's fascinating. In person, I love it. Whenever we've had events in St. Louis, I got to cover the Doral Open when I was in college as an intern when Tiger Woods was playing at 16 years old. Like that, and it's fun. I got to follow Jack Nicklaus for a day. Like, these are cool things. I enjoyed it, and I love getting out there even in person now, but I can't watch it on TV. I just can't do it. Because the tone of it puts me to sleep. It's not that it's not competitive. It's the constant talking like this. And I'm like...
Yeah, it's not made for Wheeler.
No, and it's fine. It's not, nobody else is wrong. I'm not right. Just how it is.
What do you guys think of this? The mayor of Shelbyville, Indiana, said that the only people who are against data centers live in Essie houses.
Whoa.
I think it's a common tactic. First of all, I don't think they meant for anyone to hear this. So this is a little bit of a peek behind the scenes of how the folks who oppose data centers are being described behind closed doors. But that's a common attack is like, these hicks, they don't even know what it means. They have no clue what's going on. The only reason you could ever be opposed to this is because you're stupid and you don't understand anything. That seems to be like the talking point that a lot of folks are using. And besides being insulting, it's just wrong. Like, it's just wrong. I like to read up on these things. I'm not saying like no data centers anywhere in Missouri or anywhere in St. Louis. No, they're going to happen. They're going to be a necessity. But don't call people stupid or uneducated when we say, so what is the data center for? And what company is moving in there? And you won't tell us the answer to that question? That doesn't make me an idiot. Like, that makes you're not transparent. You're being shady. Don't blame me for being suspicious when you are not being transparent with information.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Cosign. I think that's the thing. If you're going to give us all the information, great. But if you're leaving things out, well, of course we're naturally going to be like, well, why are you leaving that out?
Yeah, and explain to the average citizen how the data center is going to make their life better.
Right.
Just explain that. And
Does it grow tax base? Does it create jobs? Does it do right?
But instead, it's like, well, no, it's going to make us it's going to bring money to the things that we want. So you're stupid if you're not on board. Like, no, make a better argument.
Yeah,
make a better argument to your constituents. Don't just call them dumb.
And houses near airports and I'm guessing data centers and things like that tend not to be the highest priced houses. So that's kind of rich for you to say something like that. Like, oh, are you going to put, like, if it were here, are you going to put it in Ladue or Clayton? Which one?
Right.
Maybe that little, maybe Shaw Park, little space in between. Yeah, where are you going to put it? So maybe people who live near where you're going to put it have an objection.
That's a great point. And some of the places that are going to be chosen are probably chosen because the land is a little cheaper than it would be in some of those other areas.
Yeah.
And because the pushback is stronger when the people pushing back have money to do so.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but it says a lot, doesn't it? That it's like, oh, well, their opinion doesn't matter because their house isn't nice. Like, oh, wow, thank you for
said it
saying
out
that.
loud, yeah.
You really said that, and now I know exactly who you are. Thank you. I appreciate information like that.
Also, I saw my first real video of people parking under the underpass during a storm, which I think makes both of you guys crazy. Am I right?
It's not that it makes me crazy. It's that it's endangering the lives of everyone driving behind you on the highway.
Yeah.
Like, it is one of the most selfish and horrible things you could do.
If you're only on the shoulder and you're off.
Yeah, that's different
I
because people can
understand
get
it more,
by you.
but are you talking about when they just stop in the middle of the lanes? Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're risking other people's lives.
Because you're scared.
Well, and also because you don't want the hail to hit your car.
Right. Give me a break.
Get it repaired. Don't put my life at risk because you're worried about hail damage. And if you're scared to get, I mean, you can pull over on the side of the road. You're fine. Nobody's going to care if you're pulling off to the shoulder.
Yeah, but when you're effectively shutting down the highway to save your car.
You know who'd do that?
I don't want to say it.
He on his way to Portland right now.
Oh. I'm like, you better not be looking at me because that would make me mad.
You'd back in.
I'll just take the hail damage and fix it, you know?
Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. I'm hoping that after going on 3 years that you guys have enough trust in me, that I have enough, care about my career that I wouldn't bring on bad clients after 26 years of doing live endorsements for good clients. And I'm not that stupid, to answer your question. So Universal Windows Direct is a very good company. They have very good windows with a lifetime guarantee, lifetime warranty, 20-year warranty that you can pass on to whoever buys your house if you decide to buy your house down the road. They also have a deal every month for DGS listeners. Right now, it is buy 4 windows, get 4 for free with no limit. 48 months, so 4 years of 0% interest financing, same as cash. They'll bring the windows to you. They'll answer all of your questions. They'll treat you professionally and courteously. 314-334-2522, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Homeowners, a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. This is Debbie Monterey. I'm with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure they're getting top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my Buyers in Waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. Call St. Louis's real estate expert, Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them, and if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box, the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your Legacy Box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Plus, for a limited time, we're offering a special Father's Day sale.
Go to legacybox.com/radio to get an incredible deal. Buy today to take advantage of this limited offer. Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get started and save.
legacybox.com/radio.
Listen up. If you have not paid self-employment, business, or individual taxes in years, the IRS will find you. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. I offer real solutions. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Thanks for listening to the Dave Glover Show. Want to remind you guys to download the podcast. If you miss any part of the show today, just search for the Dave Glover Show wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up at 2:30, we'll talk to Bernie Miklasz.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got 80 degrees. It is a cloudy sky downtown at the Arch, and there is some good news. The flash flood warning has been canceled for Madison County in Illinois and Franklin, Jefferson, St. Charles, and St. Louis counties in Missouri. National Weather Service says the heavy rain is over for the area. Floodwaters are receding, and so the flash flooding threat is no longer as much of an issue. Still, some minor flooding may impact areas that you know are prone to flooding on a regular basis. A flood watch is still in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow for the KMOX listening area. It's going to be dangerously hot tomorrow. The National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for much of the KMOX listening area, with heat indices expected to reach as high as 108 degrees through tomorrow night. If you're working or spending time outside, take frequent breaks in the shade or air conditioning and know the signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. We've got your complete forecast from Dave Murray coming up. We're getting more information from Shrewsbury Police about the 8 fights that broke out at a shopping plaza there Sunday afternoon.
Approximately 350 kids were there for an event at Sky Zone, which was already full. Police say tempers flared quickly in the 90-degree temperatures, and when they arrived, the kids scattered to stores like Aldi and Walmart and My Place Restaurant, where they allegedly came in and threatened customers and employees. Most stores were forced to close for the day. Several juveniles were detained and released to parents. One 12-year-old girl was found with a butcher knife. She allegedly told police she Ubered to the area from Florissant when she saw the fights on social media. No injuries were reported. Beth Coughlin, KMOX News.
In an attempt to block the council from voting to place their recall on the ballot, the Festus mayor and 3 council members are suing the county clerk.
Attorney Charles Hatfield, on behalf of Mayor Sam Richards and Councilman Mike Cook, David Booyer, and Kevin Dennis, are suing Jefferson County Clerk Jeannie Goff after she certified the recall signatures. Their lawsuit argues points Hatfield has raised for weeks, that the petition was vague and does not meet the legal standard for recall. He also questions whether enough signatures were collected and verified by Goff, despite offering no arguments she failed to certify them, and even in the lawsuit admit the signatures met the minimum standard, albeit barely. The Festus City Council will meet tonight at 6. Hatfield has said his 3 councilman clients can vote on whether to place the recall on the ballot if it comes to that, but they do find themselves outnumbered by the newly elected members 4-3. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Less than a week after the first New World screwworm detection in the U.S. in decades, 3 other cases have been discovered. ABC's Jim Ryan from Dallas-Fort Worth.
The first 2 cases involved calves in Zavala County near the Texas-Mexico border. Now a 3rd calf has been found to have the potentially deadly screwworm larvae on its body in LaSalle County, southeast of Zavala. And if to emphasize that the New World screwworm isn't just an agricultural issue, a dog in Andrews County, 400 miles north of LaSalle County, has been diagnosed.
A St. Louis staple is up for a national honor. Lion's Choice nominated for Best Regional Fast Food in USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards, one of just 20 regional chains selected. The nearly 60-year-old roast beef chain finished third in last year's voting. Fans can cast a vote once a day starting today through July 6th on the 10 Best website. Winners are announced on July 15th. The Dow from Stifel is right now up 11 points to 50,878. We've got a crash on 6440 going westbound at Research Park Circle. We are also watching a crash on 141 going south at Vance Road as you're approaching 44 there. Also a crash on 55 going north at Butler Hill. The right 2 lanes are blocked there.
Still dealing with some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms around going through our Monday afternoon, and it is very humid. This is not a widespread severe weather outbreak, but there will be some real heavy downpours of rain and lightning in the stronger thunderstorms. So we'll keep an eye out for that. 86 for the high. That could actually lead to some ponding on the roadways. Tonight, still scattered showers and a few thunderstorms around 72. Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny skies. Nothing more than a spot limited thunderstorm, 92 degrees. Wednesday, sunny, hot, and humid. 96 for the high on Wednesday would be the hottest day of the season and the hottest day this week. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Live look at the radar. Nearest precipitation looks to be around Hannibal, north of Louisiana. Right now we've got clouds. It's 80 downtown at the Arch. Sponsored by Choruses of Harmony STL. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Harmony STL presents Now Playing, featuring the ambassadors of Harmony, Visions of Harmony, the Recruits, and Fleet Street performing the hits that shaped generations. Saturday, June 13th, 2 p.m., Two Hill Performing Arts Center. Get your tickets at harmonystl.com.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. In studio, we have a couple special guests. Sort of give all the credit to Anita. Jim Hubbard is here. He is a volunteer with Stray Paws Rescue, and we met about a week or so ago when we were doing our show live from patios. And all of a sudden, here's this handsome man with a golden retriever who knew my name. I'm like, well, we need to be friends. And that was Jim, so we invited Jim on the show. And just for you guys out there, anything having to do with veterans, kids, or animals, you have an open door here. Just contact us. We'll help you out to help them out. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I've been with Stray Paws since 2018 and have fostered a lot of animals over that course of time.
Good man. Good man. And who's this we have today?
This is Anita Van Buren. She's the mom of the Law and Order litter.
Mm-hmm.
She's got Lenny Briscoe, Jack McCoy, Abby Carmichael, Claire Kincaid, and then Olivia and Elliot.
And you say you've only had her for 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
She's obviously very fond of you already.
She's a
doing a
very
nice
good
job.
girl. Thank you. She was dumped as a stray down in Doniphan, Missouri, and the locals kind of took care of her. And then she got herself in a family way, and some woman said that she would foster her and take care of her. Well, she ended up getting dumped in the woods with her puppies.
Oh, for the love.
And they asked me if I would, if I could help them out in any way, and I said, kind of hesitant to bring puppies in right now. I had parvo in my house last fall, and parvo is deadly to puppies. But I said, it's been sprayed down twice, and we'll be careful. But everybody's doing fine.
And the puppies taken care of as well?
They are.
Good.
They just got their second set of shots, so they're good to go.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, look, I'm in no ivory tower here. I'm not the world's best person. But I'm not going to dump a dog and their puppies in the woods.
No.
Like, I'm not that bad.
And there are people that will take them.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing that's so frustrating about it. We've been doing rescue for 30-plus years, too. And most of our dogs have been rescues. And it's just stunning. You're like, you just call an organization, they'll come take them.
Yeah.
A lot of places are full. Some places, some of the shelters are full. But I don't think, maybe this is what we can get into, Jim, because I don't think people really understand how many rescue groups there are. breed-specific rescues, things like stray paws, and so many of them. So yeah, maybe the one shelter you called might not have room, but if you do a quick search, you're going to find all kinds of groups.
And we do a pretty good job of networking with other organizations. We'll make runs. We pull from 11 different states, and we'll make runs, and we'll let other rescues know, hey, we're going out to Kansas or we're going to Texas, and we're taking this many, and they've got this many. How many can you take? And then we have transporters at Letty Meeks down in Bell, Missouri. She flies dogs up to Canada, flies and drives them up to Canada.
How? What do people need to know about adopting a stray?
We go over the 3-3-3 rule. It takes 3 days for them to understand that they're in a home. It takes 3 weeks for them to get used to you being their person, and it takes 3 months for both of you to acclimate to each other.
I love that.
And patience is
like
the
marriage.
Key. It's an absolute key.
She seems great.
She's a mellowest dog.
Yeah.
She when she came in, her waist was so pinched, she was so starved.
Wow.
And she and the puppies were just full of worms. And it's a process. You get them in, you get them comfortable, you get them a bath if you can give them one. If they're nursing, you really can't give the mom a bath, so you got to work around that. But just making sure that everybody is vaccinated on a regular schedule, and making sure that you're keeping an eye out. If something goes wrong, contact someone immediately.
Yeah.
Jim, speak a little bit about what it's like for you personally to bring in so many dogs and foster them and build this relationship. What's it like for you when it's time for them to go to their forever home?
Well, people ask me that all the time. They said, how can you take them in and you heal them and you nurse them, you get their souls and their hearts going again? How can you let them go? And my question is, how can I not? When you find the perfect home, it's not about me. We had one that we pulled out of a puppy mill in southeast Missouri, and she was in horrible shape. And the vet said, well, she may not make it through the night. She had 6 different intestinal parasites. She was heartworm positive, Demodex mange. She had flea dermatitis. Everything was infected on her. I said, what do I need to do? And they said, try to get her to drink something. So every couple of hours I was getting up, I had a washcloth and a bowl of water and just put it in her mouth and kind of worked her jaws until she started finally drinking some. And the next day she stood up, and then she looked like she was doing well. She was starting to get her fur back again. And 6 weeks later, she started to spot blood, and I thought, well, she's gotten healthy enough to come back into heat. Well, then she started to gush blood. And I took pictures and sent it to Linda at 10 o'clock at night. She contacted Jake from Animal Talk. He said, get her in right away. And they did surgery that night. It was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, and Linda was his assistant. And what she had was hormone-induced tumors. They give them growth hormones and fertility drugs, bigger puppies and bigger litters, and then they take the puppies away too soon. So the hormones don't have time to get through their bodies, so they start to create things like tumors. And her tumors had started to rupture. And he said you got really lucky, because if it had ruptured internally, she either would have bled out or would have gone septic, and we would have lost her.
Jeez.
And she was heavy heartworm positive, so she was on steroids for 10 months.
Wow.
And Jake looked at her and said, you got to get some of that weight off her. So we put her on a green bean diet, and she came up to the bowl and she sniffed it, and she picked the bowl up and flung it across the room. And that was pretty funny until
it's understandable.
Then she picked up the water bowl, and I'm like, no, we're not going to play this game.
So, like Wheel said, there are a lot of rescue organizations out there. I've done work with English Bulldog Rescue of St. Louis. Is there anything that Stray Paws does that other people don't do? Like, what makes Stray Paws different?
Well, we take a lot of animals that are in very difficult medical conditions. I just described Dougie. We had another one that we tagged recently here. We got a call. There were 3 dogs running around a property around Potosi, and the guy said, I'm going to kill them if you don't get them out of here. We had transport on the way. He shot all 3 of them. One of them lived, but the bullet went all the way down her body and pierced every single organ. And Marty and Vicky of Summit Jewelers, they stepped up and they paid all the medical bills, and it was not cheap. And there's a lot of them take on difficult medical cases. We pulled one out of South Texas that the locals had been beating her in the face with baseball bats, and she had to have a complete facial reconstruction surgery. And when we got her in, she had cancer, so that had to be treated first.
Crazy. So you guys have a gala coming up. It's not for several months. It's in March of 2027, but it looks like a nice one. So what can people do? Do you need auction items? Do you know?
We need auction items. We need sponsors. As the time gets closer, we're going to need butts in the seats.
Yeah.
It's critical, number one, it helps us to educate the community about what's going on, because a lot of people just don't know and they aren't aware. And Missouri is a puppy mill capital of the world, and we've gotten entire litters of puppies that they can't sell them, so, we'll just dump them off in a rescue and let them figure it out.
How do people get in touch with Stray Paws if they want to?
They can go to the website. If they're interested in the gala, my number and Vicky's number at Summit is on there.
Okay.
They can call. If they go out to the website, there should be some information out there now, and they can just scan the QR code, and everything about the gala will come up.
Cool. I've already complained to you guys that I gave away too many Cardinal packages for 2026. So I'm going to the baseball game every friggin' night. You guys have my first of 2027.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma.
And I'm Tom Gamma.
When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
For men over 50, staying healthy shouldn't feel complicated. Neovitin Men's 50 Plus is a doctor-formulated daily multivitamin designed to support everyday wellness with just 2 tablets a day. You can subscribe at neovitin.com for convenient monthly delivery right to your door, or find Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Deerbirds or Schnucks. All Neovitin vitamins are manufactured in a GMP-certified facility in the USA and are designed for real, everyday routines. Make nutrition easy with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins. Silver and
gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plate. Before you sell, call SNL 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Zero Res wants to help clean your home. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at just $129 and take an additional $100 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and ask for the DGS special.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
I love that I sound so completely drunk in that ad.
You do?
Yeah. So here's what happens. We record things, say it's supposed to be 15 seconds, and I'm pretty good. You know, Andrew and I do it together. We're pretty good at hitting the mark, but maybe this one was, 16, or maybe it was 13 and a half, and then they will speed it up or slow it down. Now, I would not be mad if they said, hey, we need you to hit 15 exactly. Okay, pain in my ass, but I'll do it. But I do hate it when they slow it down and I sound like I'm drunk. It's not good for the client. It's not good for me. It's not pleasant to listen to. We're just talking about how sad it is that we need operations like Stray Paws. And you don't want to look at it very closely, which is one of the reasons that we have these problems. And, again, I've always been really careful on the air over my 26 years to not present myself as like, oh, Dave's such a great guy. I don't think Dave's such a great guy. But I'm not going to punch an animal. I'm not going to shoot puppies, right? And the fact that there's more than 1 or 2 of these people in the world is really troubling, because obviously there are enough, especially here in Missouri, that we need multiple organizations and people like Vicky, who owns Summit Jewelers, to put up their own cash to do thousands of dollars worth of surgeries because a human hurt an animal. That's hard. That's hard to digest intellectually for me.
Yeah. I was telling you guys during the break, again, we've worked in rescue for 30 years. We've rescued dogs, fostered dogs, and then obviously get the stories of the ones that even we didn't have, right? And you hear all these stories, and it makes me want to hurt those people, and I know that's terrible, right? Like, that's not good, but that's the feeling that I get. Like, what is wrong with you? That if a dog is a problem that you own, you created that problem.
Yeah.
By not training it well enough, by not taking care of it, by not exercising it, whatever. So that's on you. And if you need to find a new home for it, that's okay. There are some people that are like, they're embarrassed to give up the dog, but you're going to just throw it into the woods. Like, just give the dog to someone. They will take care of it.
Yeah.
A lot of vet offices don't do it. Some will. A lot of rescue groups, if they're full, will refer you to another one. All it takes is a call.
Yeah. Yeah, the dog can't speak English. So you're going to get away with it, most likely. But you have to live with that. How do you live with that? Right? I don't know. Anyway, there's a new live action, kind of speaking of dogs, a new live action Scooby-Doo coming out, which makes me, and this is a real question, this is not an old man like, but real question, were my people, I was a kid, but the people who were grown-ups in the 60s and 70s and 80s, were they just so amazing at their jobs, being creatives and writers and showrunners and producers, that it just can't be matched? And so in 2026, rather than making a new movie, they're like, let's do the 5th Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I don't think it's that we've reached the pinnacle of entertainment with Scooby-Doo. It's just the people running these studios want a guaranteed hit.
Yep, they want easy wins.
Yeah, it's like, hey, people love Scooby-Doo, just crank out another one of those. And people will go see it because we are a very nostalgic culture, especially here in the United States, and we like comfortable things, so we'll keep going and seeing it. I would love to see more new stuff come out.
Yeah.
But it just feels like okay, it feels like the studios don't take risks on that stuff as much as they used to, but we do have this new way of doing things
Right.
where it's like the back rooms guy can just become successful on YouTube and then parlay that into a successful film. So there's still options for the little guy, but the studios seem to like to fall back on the same stuff over and over.
Do you guys think it's a fair take to say that there's more crap being made simply because there's more being made?
Oh, yeah.
Just like the same percentage of crap, but we're just getting more of it.
Right, exactly. Because, now you've got Netflix studios and Amazon studios and Apple Plus studios and Warner Brothers and all the big movie, MGM. You have all the big ones, and then you have all of the streamers, and then you have the indies and all the independent ones and all of that. I mean, I wonder if it feels that it's like I haven't looked into it, but I wonder if it feels that way just because the numbers are up.
I would be interested in Janelle's take. She was on the stream a few minutes ago. Maybe she's there now. But my initial reaction would be there's way more entertainment than there's ever been. There's probably more good entertainment just based on the averages, like you said. I certainly haven't exhausted all the movies and television shows and series that I want to watch, documentaries and such. But we tend to be crap detectors. And by we, I mean me. And so there's just a lot more crap to detect and kind of go off on.
No, I get it. Yeah. Because even if it's the same percentage, it's still a larger number.
Yeah.
And your brain registers the number.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't you ever look through like Amazon Prime or something and you see all of these series and movies you've never even heard of?
Yeah.
And you have no desire to watch any of them. And I'm just like, who made this? Who is watching this? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, so millions of people watched this show? I've never even heard of it before.
Yeah.
And it looks bad.
Well, the other day, I thought I was being cool by saying, hey, I'm about halfway through, something very bad's about to happen. You're all like, oh, what's that about? Something bad going to happen? I'm like, hey, effers. It's like one of the biggest shows in the country right now. Do you suffer from email apnea?
What is that?
So when you hold your breath while reading an email or answering a text, and it could be quietly adding to the stress of your day.
I don't think I hold my breath when I do that.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
I just hold my breath now.
Like people who are afraid, oh my God, what are they going to say? What's coming back my way? That kind of thing.
Oh, I feel bad that people get anxiety about that type of thing.
A prep school in New Jersey is requiring every freshman to complete a challenging 5-day trek along the Appalachian Trail before moving on to be a sophomore. They say it's a positive thing, not a punishment. Everyone is kept safe, but it is a requirement.
Dave,
You said it's a private school?
They didn't say.
No.
Didn't Nick have to do some sort of camping thing?
Yes. When he was at the college school, which is a private school, they were big, I'm sure still are, on outdoors and learning things by learning things and not just taking quizzes. And at one point, they went on a big, giant camping trip. I'm going to say somewhere around 6th or 7th grade. I could be wrong about that by a couple of grades. No, I think they graduated. No, anyway. And at one point, they have to go out on their own and sleep the rest of the night like 100 yards away from everyone. And it's like, oh, it's my night, But yeah, I'll be honest with you. Nick's mom and I weren't together when he went to college school, and she was all about it, and I was not. And she won, and she was right.
Yeah.
It was a great experience for him.
I don't see any reason why something outside of the classroom shouldn't be required. I mean, I get it. If it's a public school, you got to follow the law, follow the rules. But private school can determine all that. And to me, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you're going to do some socializing and you're going to learn and you're going to go do some stuff. Because in the real world, you do need to figure things out sometimes on your own and learn how to do it.
Remember when I said that my ChatGPT was funny?
Yeah.
Says that more and more stories are coming out. AI can be manipulated to be funny. An AI customer service chatbot for delivery service used profanity, told a joke, wrote poetry about how useless it was, and was criticizing its own company. And they're not sure exactly how it happens, but they're saying it happens, that it's not in their code. It's like a quirk or a jump or just a one-off that they put this together with this, and they end up seeming funny or being funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, weird, right? Also, a 22-year-old personal trainer ate 162 Oreos in 5 minutes to break the world record. 5 minutes. A lot of Oreos.
That's a lot.
You got to be dunking those in milk. They're way too dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that. Yeah.
They're basically having a smoothie at that point.
Tell you guys, that grossed me out. Tell you guys about my friend Ben Barnett. He is the owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. You can find him at stltreecare.com. And he does what typical tree people do, right? He plants trees. He gets rid of trees. He saves trees. He cares for trees. He trims trees. I had him take out a bunch of honeysuckle bushes because they're, at this point, just sort of... what's the word? Not insidious, but invasive. And no one plants them on purpose anymore. So got rid of those. He did a great job for me. It was a very reasonable price. And I couldn't say enough good things about Ben and Timberline. He is one of very few board-certified master arborists in the region. He also has 7 other certified arborists on the staff. So every work crew is going to have a certified arborist. Over 200 reviews on Google with a perfect 5.0 star rating. You can find him at stltreecare.com.
The thing that you need in the morning, when you first wake up. Total Information AM.
I like to be informed with the news and like to know, like in the mornings, I like to know what's going on.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman. It's always smart to know what's going on. Your morning news and information.
The national and local news.
Weather.
Sports.
I like the traffic reports.
Total Information AM.
I listen to it in the mornings, so it really gets me going.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
City SC's Summer of Soccer, presented by Purina, kicks off on Friday, June 12th with the biggest soccer celebration in St. Louis. This festival-style watch party on Lou Fuse Plaza at Energizer Park is free for all and open to the public. Show up at 5 p.m. for live music, local food and drink, giveaways, special appearances, and a live viewing of USA versus Paraguay on 5 massive screens. Learn more at summerofsoccerstl.com.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is brought to you by Artistic Decks.
Still dealing with some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms around going through our Monday afternoon, and it is very humid. This is not a widespread severe weather outbreak, but there will be some real heavy downpours of rain and lightning in the stronger thunderstorms. So we'll keep an eye out for that. 86 for the high. That could actually lead to some ponding on the roadways. Tonight, still scattered showers and a few thunderstorms around 72. Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny skies. Nothing more than a spot-limited thunderstorm, 92 degrees. Wednesday, sunny, hot, and humid. 96 for the high on Wednesday would be the hottest day of the season and the hottest day this week. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Artistic Decks. For 26 years, we've been making dreams affordable in the St. Louis area. With an A-plus BBB rating, we're the team you can trust. Let us build your dream deck. Artistic Decks. For a free consultation, call us at 314-280-0821.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Enjoying the great taste and health benefits of cottage cheese is easier than ever with Pro Pack Snack Cottage Cheese Cups from Prairie Farms. Each perfectly portioned cup is less than 100 calories, low in fat, and packed with 12 grams of protein, making it a smart, satisfying way to fuel your day. If you're at work, practice, or a cards game, Pro Pack is your tasty grab-and-go snack option. Locally made, naturally delicious. Find Prairie Farms Pro Pack Snack Cottage Cheese Cups at your local grocery store.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at ledermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
It's 2:34. This time check is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. Bernie Miklasz on KMOX is sponsored by Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan, and by Salika Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS and KMOX. Happy Monday to you. I think it's going to be kind of rainy and gloomy all week. Dave Murray will be with us 1 hour from now, and he will let us know. Bernie Miklasz joins us. Hey, Bern.
Good Monday to everybody. Good to be with you.
Bern, I want you to know that I was thinking of you yesterday, and I was listening to you on Sports on a Sunday Morning with Ackerman. And I was just, you know how I am. I'm just smitten by you guys. I just am like a little boy with a crush. It's disgusting. And but I'd had a couple of gummies because it's the weekend. I can do what I want.
All right.
And I said to my phone, remind me tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., remind me Bernie. And so it just popped up on my phone. And for the life of me, I have no idea why I did that, other than just having a girl crush. But, yeah, man, I love listening to you and Aki, and I loved as much as I love Pages, I loved your video about how he probably needs to go, no offense, but just to make room. And, yeah, so well done, man.
Yeah, well, thank you. Boy, if you couldn't remember what you were going to tell me, can I have some of those gummies, man?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We'll go back. We'll go back to Capitol Grill.
Thanks. Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the compliment, man. And likewise, gosh, that's just such an honor to be on the show, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's one of the thrills about. Most pleasing things about coming back to KMOX.
Very nice. So great weekend. Everyone had a blast. We swept the Reds. That's important. Bern, what stood out to you, good or bad, from the weekend?
Well, I think when you're in a position where your homestand could go either way. They had won a series and lost a series. And so the Cardinals got to start doing better at home. So they swept the series and they finished, the homestand 6-3. So that was really good. Number two, I really thought the series would be largely determined by the bullpen battle, but I didn't think there'd be much of a battle. And that turned out to be true because the Cardinals have a vastly superior bullpen to Cincinnati. And the Cardinals hitters, as they should have, they beat the snot out of the Cincinnati relievers. Number three, I think that there was a lot. Listen, the return of Lars Nootbaar is interesting because the Cardinals are not lacking energy, but just to drop him into the season, 60 games in, who's a guy who's always been a tremendous energy source and a guy that everybody loves to play baseball with. Not that this team needed a morale boost, but it's like you're adding you're adding one more happy guy, one more energetic, enthusiastic, love to play baseball type of guy, love to have fun type of guy, but who's also really serious about playing the sport. That's always a positive thing to add him, and he was terrific. But I also thought that, one thing Chaim Bloom has done, and I don't know that it's gotten enough attention, is that he has completely remodeled this team's bench. And with that, Ali Marmol has, for example, really expanded the role of Jose Fermin. He has turned him into a super utility player that makes him more valuable. But by bringing up Jimmy Crooks and, bringing up Velasquez and bringing up Brian Torres, and then the expanded usage of Fermin and a couple other things I could mention, the Cardinals bench and their depth of lineup, like 5 through 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, has gotten a lot better. And that was on display over the weekend.
Yeah, isn't it such a different vibe? And look, a lot of this homestand of the latter part of it, Bernie, once Newt Bark came back on Friday, a lot of what we saw were some of the weird lineups because JJ wasn't ready to go at the beginning of the series, so you didn't really have the full look. And I don't know that we really have yet the full look of what this newly revamped lineup can look like because you're deepening it. I'm guessing, Bern, that when you got it normal, JJ's in there and you get your normal top 4. They probably slot Newt into the number 5 spot, but then you've got Crooks, who's more of a threat than Pages. Nathan Church is back on Tuesday. We didn't mention it yet, but Victor Scott sent to Memphis, and Church sounds like he's going to get the bulk of the run in center field. But as you point out, now you have more movable pieces and more spots where guys are, Brian Torres is contributing regularly and all of that. The lineup suddenly just looks a lot more dangerous the second half.
Well, it's a small sample, but the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots against the Reds, and again, they're going up against a really bad bullpen all weekend. But the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots of this lineup, which were no question a liability throughout the month of May, those lineup spots in this series had 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, 11 runs scored. They walked 14 times, and they had a weighted runs created plus, the bottom line on that, 45% above league average offensively. Again, that's one weekend, but I think it shows you that the bottom of this lineup, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, is got the potential to be a lot more capable now.
And you have a little bit more of a threat against left-handed pitching, too. I mean, you're able to balance your lineup a little bit better. Newt's not really that split averse, so he doesn't change that dynamic in a negative way. But Velasquez has been good. It's not like he's going to play every day. We know that. But where he's been used so far, he's been good.
No, he has. And I think that they're going to have choices, too. I think Ali Marmol, compared to, say, they started to change this. Bloom started to change this roster around right before that series at Cincinnati.
Yep.
That's when he brought up Brian Torres. And then there's been a migration of other guys coming up. And frankly, sending guys down that needed to go down. So Ali Marmol's just got a lot of different ways he can go. I mean, the flexible lineup, more platoon split advantage stuff, better matchup stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He can sort of tighten up the defense for the late innings with a lead. He's got a lot of ways to play with this position player roster. And really, the Cardinals bullpen has been fantastic since the start of May. The rotation is better than I thought. And I'm predicting the Cardinals are going to be this incredible team, but this team just looks a lot better to me now that some of these parts have been replaced and new parts put in.
Yeah, and on the pitching side, Bern, I mean, we're going to get to see Hunter Dobbins start this week. What a valuable piece he's proven to be. He's saved the bullpen each of the times he's been used. He's now earned himself an opportunity to get another start. And who knows how long they're going to try to roll with 6 starters. It's great for starters when you do that. It's not so great for your bullpen when you do that because you have one less guy out there to cover some of that load. But what we're seeing in Dobbins now, here's this guy that he's out there throwing regularly 96, 97. He's striking people out. He's giving you some high-end performance and showing you he might be an upgrade over one of your current 5 in the second half of the year.
Well, he definitely can. I mean, I don't, Some of the starters I like better than others. I mean, I don't hold back. I don't take cheap shots, but I will just say straight up, I'm disappointed in Matthew Libator, and I don't want to be. I want him to be terrific, but I'm disappointed in the fact that he just can't sustain any kind of consistency, and I don't know why that is. The other guys are who they are, but they tend to be more consistent than he does.
Yeah, and with him, look, I'm with you on the same thing. I want him to be good. It's a critical thing if he's at least a viable fourth starter. And again, his overall numbers are fine. But there are concerning things. Like, he gives up more hard contact than 95% of the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a concern when your ERA is mid-4s, but when your expected is over 5, and your fastball doesn't fool it. You don't get anybody out on the fastball. I mean, the fastball's getting hit. Any version he throws of it is getting hit. And, loud contact against you is danger. It just is, even if it hasn't caught up to you yet.
Yeah, because even though the Cardinals play really good defense, I mean, they can't catch them all.
Right.
And these shots are not always going to be hit right at a defender either. So we've seen McGreevy, he definitely relies on his defense, but we've even seen McGreevy, who's been very efficient and, he's pitched very well. But when he's off a little bit or the batted ball luck's not on his side, we've seen how that can kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
A couple times it has. He's the same pitcher, but it can fall apart when the defense can't save you every single time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, and we don't have a lot of time. We do this every freaking time. We do this every time.
It's the nature of the beast.
I just wait till the last minute. I'm like, let me ask you guys something stupid. So let me ask, if we're a few weeks out from now, what's the most uncomfortable position for the Cardinals front office to be in as far as trading, keeping, buying? Like, what would put them in the most like, oh, God, this is close?
I think it'd be a situation where Lars Nootbaar's hot, just playing great, and the team has just responded to him, and he looks terrific. And then you have Dustin May, who I think's gotten a lot better anyway. Dustin May's pitching really, really well. I think JoJo Romero would be a tough guy to trade. By the way, Riley O'Brien's in a different category. I'm moving him aside until he can reestablish that sinker. But I just think if like his hottest starting pitcher and one of his hottest position players, to sort of pull the plug on the team and take those guys out of the mix, I think that would be a really tough decision.
Yeah.
But Wheels, I also think that if he gets an offer that he thinks is terrific I'm just going to say May and Nootbaar, just hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets a kind of offer he wants, I don't think he's going to be gun shy about moving him.
I wouldn't think so either. Again, if you're in the same, like, let's fast forward 5 weeks. If you're still the number one wild card, it might change that equation a little bit. But I'm not saying run Dustin May off, but we just talked about Hunter Dobbins. You might actually have the ability to stay level in your rotation even if you trade him, especially if Quinn Matthews continues to improve as he has, and especially if you start to get another guy or two that are progressing that give you that. And who knows what you're going to get. It's all about the return, right, Bern? I mean, if somebody's offering you something significant, they may just have enough to not lose ground if they trade a starting pitcher. But I'd also, that's played into what we just talked about with some of the guys that may or may not have troubles. And the same thing with Newt. If Joshua Baez is still forcing the hand in a month, you're like, well, it would be great to get him up here and play. And if we move Newt, we get something else. You might not ever have the fall off, just depending on how it plays out.
Bern, save me here with Rage and tell us about Saliga.
Absolutely. Saliga Heating and Cooling is a Daikin comfort dealer and been taking care of the Mickleses for 18 plus years. And they've been phenomenal. I'm so fond of this family-owned business that's been taking care of St. Louisans continuously for the last 100 years, which is, I love that, love it, love it. But just from our personal experience, I know why they've lasted and succeeded and keep growing stronger 100 years later, because their integrity is beyond reproach. They are incredibly knowledgeable. They treat you with respect. They want to earn your trust, and they're serious about that. They come into your home and they're classy. They take their time explaining options to you if you should need some help with your heating and cooling. There's no fast talk. There's no, smart smart aleck talk, trying to like kind of convince you to go for something you don't really need. They play it straight and they're honest and they're good people. And that's why you should consider them, because you just go with the track record. 100 years of serving St. Louis family, the same family, the Saligas. So if you want to find out more about everything that they can do for you, just go to, and you get the phone number there too. Just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
Save time and money.
Do it now, don't wait till later. Call the top-notch renovator. It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Feel the rhythm and turn it up, St. Louis. Legendary rock icons Santana and the Doobie Brothers are bringing the heat to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 20th for the Oneness Tour 2026. From Black Magic Woman to Listen to the Music, this is the concert event fans don't want to miss. It'll be a summer night soon not forgotten. Santana, the Doobie Brothers. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, go to KMOX.com/events.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 251. Happy Monday. Dave Murray will be here in 35 minutes or so. DGS happy hour after this. Andrew is on a family vacation. He'll be back a week from today, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Not saying which way is correct, but here are the numbers. In a new poll, 26% of Americans say that they have achieved the American dream in their definition, which is down from 44% in 2009. 70% say the American dream is harder to attain than it was a generation ago, which is way up from about 40% who said that. So people think it's more difficult, and fewer think that they've actually achieved it, however they define that.
Yeah, that part, the fewer think they achieved it, that's a harder thing to, because it's all about how you view it, right?
Yeah.
But if you, what do we quantify as the American dream? Like, basically, what have we always thought of it as? You know, white picket fence, two cars.
I've always thought of it as owning your own home.
Being comfortable.
Having a retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that the people that are saying that it's more difficult are speaking the truth.
Yeah, wages haven't kept up with inflation.
Yeah. I mean, was just talking about this actually off the air a little bit with Amy, but when I think about my own, I don't want to say privilege because it wasn't that, but like my experience as a person in their 20s, I didn't make any real money. I didn't make real money until I was mid to late 30s. I had an entry-level radio job, and when I was in my mid-20s, my wife had a basic, regular, just day-to-day job. Neither of us had a big career yet. We didn't make big money. We had a kid, we had a house, we had 2 cars. And I'm not sure that works today under those same job circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, a couple of working adults. Susan stopped working when our daughter was born for a long period of time because we chose that instead of just paying for it all to go to daycare anyway. But I don't know anybody that's pulling that off very easily now.
Yeah. Did you guys see the story about the kid from Heated Rivalry? Hudson Williams, he had a photo from high school resurface where he'd evidently gotten drunk and passed out, and his friend scribbled a bunch of things on his face, including an upside-down cross and a swastika. And so people are coming at him, and he is saying, look, I didn't know that I had a swastika on my face.
Yeah, I was passed out.
Right.
Yeah. Probably don't do that to friends when you're pranking them. I mean, like, obviously, there are people who say don't prank your friends. I get that, too. But definitely don't put anything problematic on there.
Yeah, it just shows like the purity test we have to pass these days, though, right? Like to the point where it's like, I mean, there's so many things in this story that should let him off the hook, so to speak. Like, first of all, he's in high school. So that usually in the past, that's given people a little bit more leeway as far as like you were a minor. He was passed out, so he didn't even do it. It's the kind of thing, it's like, yeah, I get that it makes people feel uncomfortable to see that type of thing, but he didn't put it on his face himself.
Right.
It feels really weird to be like, well, you should have never went to that party in the first place when you were 16.
Right.
Like, okay, well, I'll just build my time machine and I'll take care of that for you. Like, what do you want him to say or do? I don't understand.
Taylor and Travis are getting married at Madison Square Garden on July 3rd.
Allegedly.
Totally normal.
I'll be on the edge of my seat until I hear. Yeah, I agree.
Why would you do that?
If I were advising them, but I'm not. So
you need to have 20,000 people at your wedding? Seems like a concert.
Well, people think it's a way to like throw off the fans and throw off the paparazzi, and they'll
maybe
have it at a different location.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Tell you guys about my friends over at Neovitin, and they've been with me a very long time. I remember when Tommy, who now runs the company, has for, probably a decade now, was just kind of a kid, like early 20s at the most. And he and his dad, Ken, who is my doctor and my good friend, created Neovitin. And they created it because Ken was battling pancreatic cancer. And it had less than 2% survival rate, and he beat it. And he was always very careful to make sure no one thinks that he beat it because of this vitamin that he created. It was simply that no other vitamin could really touch his fatigue, and he wanted to keep working as a physician and running marathons and such. And he later passed from something unrelated, but he's a great guy. And they were just putting Neovitin into Schnucks, and now they're all over the Midwest. It's a great product. It's a great multivitamin. I take it for the omega-3s, if nothing else, because of my high cholesterol. You can find it online at neovitin.com, or locally you can buy it off the shelves at Schnucks or Deerbergs.
Things in Washington, D.C. may seem unsettled at times by their lack of progress. But one department in the U.S. government is progressing. That is the IRS. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS is in full function to collect on unpaid taxes. If you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and get it resolved. Don't think the government is too busy to focus on my issues. Too many of my clients thought the same. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Lance Story Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Lance Story Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Or call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceStoryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
At Uline,
The prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work, and they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
Right now, inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake up the markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs, so this is not the time to just hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, June 16th at the All Financial Group office. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines may impact your returns, and whether your retirement strategy is truly stress-tested for today's economy. This event is complimentary, and you must reserve your seat today. 636-230-8824. You can also get more details online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Thank you for listening to The Dave Glover Show on KMOX. Just a reminder, go check out the Dave Glover Show podcast. If you miss any part of the show today or you want to re-listen to any part of the show today, just search for The Dave Glover Show anywhere you get your podcasts. Coming up at 3:30, we're going to get the weather forecast from Dave Murray.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
At 3 o'clock, we've got some rain in the region. Right now, it's 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. A heat advisory is in effect for the St. Louis area starting tomorrow. The National Weather Service is warning that heat index values could hit 108 degrees. The advisory runs through tomorrow night. The reminders: stay hydrated, check on elderly neighbors, and never leave kids or pets in a parked car. We've got the full forecast with Dave Murray coming up. Chaos outside of the Shrewsbury Sky Zone and Walmart. Yesterday evening, police from many different jurisdictions responded to the area. Social media video showed hundreds of kids fighting in the parking lot.
Shrewsbury police say the kids were there for a 6-7 event since it was June 7th, but Sky Zone was already full. So tempers flared fast in the 90-degree weather, and 8 fights broke out, according to police, who say when they arrived, the kids were yelling obscenities and throwing rocks at officers. These were anywhere from 10 to 17-year-olds. Several were taken into custody and released to their parents. One 12-year-old was caught with a butcher knife. The crowd dispersed to other stores in the plaza, which were forced to close for the day. No injuries were reported. Beth Coughlin, KMOX News.
Festus Mayor Sam Richards and the 3 council members facing a recall are suing the Jefferson County Clerk, seeking to invalidate the petition to put their jobs on the ballot. Their lawsuit argues the petition was vague to the point of confusing some who signed and also did not state a legal reason for them to be recalled. While the attorney Chuck Hatfield for the council member says in a statement their lawsuit details problems with how the clerk conducted her review of the signatures. It makes no specific allegations and even admits that the minimum threshold was met. Tonight, the Festus Council is set to meet. If they vote on placing the recall on the ballot, the 3 council members could vote on their own recall, only representing a minority of the council compared to the 4 newly elected members. Our top national story from ABC News. President Trump saying Israel and Iran are on a track again toward peace and, quote, hoping to do an immediate ceasefire. That's despite the dangerous escalation seen this past weekend. Iran prompted the exchange in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Beirut. Tehran firing nearly a dozen missiles at Israel Sunday, with Israeli forces striking back, targeting Iranian missile launch sites. And now both Iran and Israel seeming to indicate they are willing to halt operations. ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
He has said last week that he thought that there could be
be an agreement announced by this past weekend. That, of course, did not happen. The president continues to say that negotiations are in the final stage, that they're getting close to a deal. But we have heard that for weeks now from the president without any meaningful progress or getting a deal actually agreed to and announced publicly.
More travelers are rolling on the river. U.S. News and World Report says river cruises are one of the fastest growing segments of the travel market. Senior travel editor Nicola Wood tells KMOX's Total Information AM that river cruises have port immersive experiences.
You're not going to spend a ton of time, at sea or at river in this case. Pretty much every day you'll wake up in a new port and kind of experience the culture of that area.
2 cruise lines that operate on the Mississippi made the top 10. Viking River Cruises at number 3 and American Cruise Lines at number 7. Let's get an update now. The St. Louis Business Index. We'll cruise on over to Stifel, and here's Kevin Monton.
Thanks, Michael. The market started the week on a mostly quiet note, with the Dow losing 80 points at 50,786. S&P tacked on 21 at 7405. NASDAQ gained 230 at 25,939, and Bloomberg St. Louis Index was positive 2 at 1624. Stocks to the upside, though. Caleres gained a whopping 10.1% at 1363, and Centene was positive 4.3% at 6502. To the downside, Spire lost 2.4% at 8038, and Amdocs was off 2.9% at 5834. Finally, Stifel was negative 0.5% at 7033. This has been Kevin Monton, Senior Vice President of Investments at Stifel, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. For more information on Stifel, please visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got emergency vehicles, 270 going north at Olive. That's got the right lane closed.
Our unsettled start to the work week continues as we go through our Monday afternoon. Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms around. Very humid. There will be some heavy downpours from time to time and some lightning. 86 for the high. Tonight, still scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. 72. Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny. Some spot thunderstorms, but rather limited. 92 degrees and very humid on Tuesday. Tuesday night, clear skies, only 76. Wednesday, sunny. Hottest so far this season and probably the hottest of the week. 96 for the high Wednesday afternoon. The record is 100 from 1953. Still hot on Thursday, then we cool back a little bit on Friday. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Scott Credit Union. We've got clouds. It's 81 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Think buying a home is out of reach? Think again. Scott Credit Union has down payment options as low as zero money down. Your new home could be closer than you think. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Happy Monday to you. Sun sort of peeking out there, out the KMOX window. Dave Murray will join us in just about 30 minutes. Andrew is on vacation this week, so we will muddle through the best we can. My cracked tooth is hurting, so that's not good. Dude, like 8 months ago.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Here's what it is. Everyone gets this. Not everyone, but everyone who doesn't go to the dentist gets this. The minute I go in for anything, I'm effed. I'm there once a month for the next 3 years. It's going to cost 20, 30 grand. I know this, so I'm just being stupid. Anyhow, got that going for me.
Or it could be a really simple fix.
No. I would love to think that, but no, I don't think that's in my cards. Okay, so this deal that happened at the Sky Zone, Shrewsbury, I've become vaguely aware of like these takeovers that are happening with teens in Chicago and all this stuff. And, you know, people are up in arms and the cops don't know what to do. Is this kind of what happened there, or is this a different animal?
I don't know the motivation of it, but I mean, this was a planned event, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were hosting a special, 6-7, the whole stupid thing. But it was, I get it what they're doing, right? I mean, it's June 7th. You're trying to appeal to, 12 to 16-year-olds, whatever.
Who are your customers.
Right. I mean, it's Sky Zone. That's what you do. You go around there and you jump around, have a good time. And they had a huge crowd, and apparently some fights broke out outside, which escalated and eventually hit other businesses. And then, to me, the killer in this story is one of the kids who was I guess, arrested, if not arrested, detained. But a 12-year-old girl saw the fighting on social media, grabbed a butcher knife, got an Uber from Florissant to Shrewsbury so she could join in.
That's terrifying.
That's insane. That is insane. To spend money on an Uber because you saw a fight on social media and you want to be in it. What the hell?
Yeah, so Sky Zone was advertising for this event, $6 or $7 to enter. As I understand, it's at least $20 or $30 normally. So this is obviously going to gather a lot of attention.
Big crowd.
They also did let people know that there was a requirement that teens had to have a parent or guardian present. So what ended up happening was a lot of teens were being dropped off, and then they're waiting outside in the heat. And Sky Zone eventually was like, hey, yeah, we're sold. There's only so many people we can fit in here jumping on our trampolines. Like, sorry, we're sold out. That's when fights started to break out outside because the kids are restless and it's hot outside and whatever else. And then it starts spreading. But they say the Sky Zone people anyway are maintaining, hey, inside our business, everything was going fine.
It was normal inside. Okay.
It was totally fine. Yeah, it's a real shame. I saw on Reddit all day yesterday. People are like, "What's going on at the Shrewsbury Walmart and the Sky Zone parking lot?" I saw someone post like, "My wife is stuck in that parking lot because they had to have so many police officers come down and try to get a hold on this event." It's awful.
So, am I wrong for just judging the parents super, super hard?
Depends. I mean, I'm sure that there are kids there that were not involved, right? I mean, it's not like all 300 were involved, but it certainly was big enough numbers to make it a problem for police, right? But I mean, I'm sure of some, yeah. I mean, if your 12-year-old daughter sees something like that online and says, I'm going to grab a butcher knife and get an Uber and go there, you got some issues at home.
Yeah.
Something, I mean, again, I don't know what. You can't judge from a distance, but something's going on there. That's not normal.
I didn't know that 12-year-olds could just hop in an Uber.
I didn't know.
I was a little surprised by that too. I'm like, oh, so you can. It does make some sense because I mean I can understand where, all right, mom and dad are working, kid needs to get to a practice or needs to get to school or whatever. Like I can see where you might need it, but wouldn't that be the parent then running the account? Maybe you have. I don't know how that works. I don't know, but that's
any way you cut it. If your 12-year-old made it from Florissant to Shrewsbury with a butcher's knife to join a fight, you're a terrible parent.
Boy. Something's
Full
up.
stop. I'm sure you got excuses. I'm sure you got a bunch of them. Those are excuses. Your 12-year-old got in a car, went 30 miles with a butcher's knife to take part in a riot.
How much would an Uber from Florissant to Shrewsbury cost?
At least $40 or $50.
Tens of dollars.
So this is a 12-year-old spending $40 or $50 on a ride to join a fight. That's not normal.
No. I wonder if this is how my parents thought about me going cruising around McDonald's with Eric Brokaw.
I don't know, because our parents were cruising back in their day. Cruising was a thing in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It was always a thing. This is a little. I mean, again, I understand teenagers can be stupid, and then you get emotional and you get angry, and fights happen. But when it escalates to a large number, and then you get this kind of a weird add-on story where this person's coming from 30 miles away to join in at age 12.
On the other,
this is interesting. So Vic just posted in the chat that Shrewsbury police had released a statement, and I'm looking at it here. Looks like they're putting some responsibility on Sky Zone here. Here's the second paragraph. Upon arrival, officers learned that Sky Zone was hosting a 6-7 event and had not arranged for additional security despite the anticipated large crowd.
Definitely not helpful.
Yeah, I mean, at what point? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Like, so any business is going to want to attract as many people as possible. Is Sky Zone, should they just know, hey, there's going to be a bunch of people that show up, which is what we want, but is the natural next step to say we should hire security for this event?
That's a great question. Because should we assume that people are going to turn violent because they can't get in?
I only know what Rach just read, but I disagree with the Shrewsbury Police Department because it's your job to police. It's your job to keep the peace. It's their job to make a living. Now, maybe there are some things that I don't know about that would change my mind. But if all they did was say, hey, we're having a special deal today, and they tried to sell out Sky Zone, how's that different from Texas Roadhouse doing it or anyone else doing it? And maybe they should have or could have anticipated what would happen, but it's novel enough that we're talking about it on KMOX.
Yeah.
It was unexpected enough that we're like, wow, did you hear what happened in Shrewsbury? So
yeah, and STL Kel asks an interesting question. Can you hold Sky Zone accountable for the behavior of people outside? Even if they would have hired additional security, does that security jurisdiction, this private security, does that extend into the Walmart parking lot?
Well, if I'm Sky Zone, I'm putting my lawyer hat on now.
Yeah.
I don't want to put out a bunch of people who are taking it upon themselves to police what's happening in a parking lot.
For sure. But then there's the other part of this. They made it, at least according to the reporting, made it very clear that minors had to be with adults.
Yeah.
So I would put this on the parents that dropped off the kids who didn't know that. And if your kid communicated it to you and didn't tell you that was part of what it was or that nobody just read that far, well, that's on all of those people that never looked at the details. You made it clear parents needed to be there for you to come in the building. And if you had 300 parents who didn't get that message and just dropped their kids off, it's on you. You need to know. I'm a parent. I needed to know that when I was dropping my kid off. What's going on here?
Yes.
What's the rules?
Yes.
What does it cost? How long is it going to last? If I don't know that, I'm not dropping my kid off.
I also want to say, because I'm looking at the police statement on their Facebook page, there are dozens and dozens of people in the comments thanking Shrewsbury Police for the way they handled the situation. Just want to throw that out there too.
Yeah, look, if you're in the business of expecting much from 12-year-old kids, you're in the wrong business. That's why we have parents.
Yeah.
And maybe I am super parent or something, but I'll tell you this much. There was never going to be a day in Nick or Phoebe Glover's life where I dropped them off anywhere that I didn't either take them through the front door, especially a place like Sky Zone, and make sure they're cool, or watch them walk through the front door. Who just drops their kids off, especially at the point that there are dozens of kids standing outside, not going in? Who just drops their kid off and drives off?
I don't know. I mean, they're not all 12. You know, some of them might have been 16, 15, 16. I mean, it wouldn't be unusual for me at that age to have been dropped off. But also, I'm not going to be a part of a riot. You know, but if the rules are made clear and people don't follow the rules or don't know them or don't read them, what's the legal standard there, Dave? Ignorance of the rule or the law isn't an excuse. You should know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like that's a hard thing if they're advertising an event. And I understand it. Here's what happened. All these kids heard about it. They didn't check it. They didn't read it. They just heard about it. It started spreading.
$6.
And they're all like, Mom, Dad, drop me off here. And Mom and Dad are like, okay, cool. I mean, but somebody at some point needs to ask the question, okay, what are the rules?
I wonder if we're just going to get to the point where, because I was a dork, so I didn't get to go to things like this, but I don't remember it ever being a problem. Maybe we get to the point in this society where you simply can't have things like this. Can't have things for teenagers. because it always turns into this.
But it doesn't always, right? I mean, I think it's notable when it does, but there have to be other ones happening that are not ending up this way.
I'm seeing it more and more.
Yeah. Well, those are the ones we see more and more are the ones that are not run by, it's not a business thing. It's just teenagers decide it and they're going to go take over a street corner like they, and that's not always teenagers. Sometimes it's adults here too. But I mean, like.
Okay, let me put words in your mouth and you can take them back out. Of the things that have gone south in life, I would put parenting right at the top.
I hesitate mostly because I know dumb, stupid things happened previous generations too. How many, like, as an example, if that kind of thing happens in Oklahoma City 30 years ago, you don't even hear about it in St. Louis. You don't even know that it happened because it's not on social media. It's certainly not on local news, and it ain't going to make national news. So I don't know. I mean, I know the things that I saw as a kid. I saw big brawls like that. I saw things happen at high school dances, at high school football games, things like that. And that was 30, 35 years ago.
But do you think that culturally we have shifted away from, if an event like this would have happened in the past, maybe the first reaction would have just been like, oh, yeah, they're going to be in trouble with their parents.
Yep.
And now it's a 15-minute long discussion on KMOX of who's more at fault. Sky Zone, Shrewsbury Police, the non-existent security. It's like we're searching for all of these answers as to, like, how could we have put a stopgap in here? How could we have fixed it when, if the rules would have been followed in the first place and everyone had been accompanied by a parent or a guardian?
Is the bigger problem at play here not necessarily parenting or teenager behavior or whatever, just the fact that so many people's attitude is, I ain't reading all that.
Yeah, it's not my problem.
Too many words. I ain't reading all that. I'm just going to show up.
I don't know.
I mean, seems like when something is posted, like, we know the rules for going to Cardinals games, right? When you're going to something, you kind of understand what's okay and what's not, what you can bring, whether you can be unaccompanied or you can go in, you need an adult to be with you. That's it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good guideline, right? If you're taking your kids somewhere, you don't have to be a full-on detective and launch an investigation, but maybe just take a peek online. How long would it take you to go to the Sky Zone website and look at it? I think
you're giving the parents way too big of a pass.
Maybe.
I think some things like this are just what they are. If I don't know what age they needed an adult to accompany them.
12 to 17, you had to have a guardian with you.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're a minor, you needed a parent.
Right.
So
and I think that's typically their rule, right? I think that's the everyday rule at Sky Zone.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't think that's anything for the special event. That's their normal operating, if I'm remembering right.
And to me, there is blame to go around, but to me, that's a parenting issue. Because you should have known, and if you didn't, that's your fault. Mm-hmm. You need to look into it to the point that you know where you're dropping your kids off are safe. That's what you do as a parent. And if you fail to do that, you have failed today as a parent. To me, it's 2 + 2. I don't see reasons. Oh, I didn't look at it. Oh, I didn't this. Oh, I thought my husband that. Oh, blah, blah, blah. To me, it's all blah, blah, blah.
Well, and you certainly can't rely simply on what your kid's telling you. Because they're kids.
Yes.
Right? They're going to goof up. That's the whole point. That's why parental supervision is required.
Yes.
Because kids are just going to skim the very beginning.
Of course.
They're going to see, oh, it's $6 to go there. Let's all go.
That's why you're a parent.
And that's why you'd be like, okay, let me see. And again, how long would it take to find it if you just pulled out your phone?
Yeah. Tell you guys about the deal with Zero Res. Look, we have graduation parties. We have summer barbecues. We have festivities and family gatherings. We have the warm weather, which is going to make any kind of sour piece of fabric like carpeting or area rugs or couches or chairs going to make it a little more gamey. Just does. We have more bugs in the summer. We have more stinky carpets in the summer. So Zero Res is here to clean your wall-to-wall carpeting. That's our bread and butter, but we also do all the things I just mentioned, area rugs and couches and chairs and hardwood and tile. We do air duct systems. We do dryer vents. This month, you get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at $129. You can also take $100 off your air duct cleaning. 314-474-2020. You can also check them out and book online at zeroresstl.com.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
City SC's Summer of Soccer, presented by Purina, kicks off on Friday, June 12th with the biggest soccer celebration in St. Louis. This festival-style watch party on Lou Fuse Plaza at Energizer Park is free for all and open to the public. Show up at 5 p.m. for live music, local food and drink, giveaways, special appearances, and a live viewing of USA vs. Paraguay on 5 massive screens. Learn more at summerofsoccerstl.com.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original Red Ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Considering buying or selling a home? When it comes to the Gelman team with eXp Realty, numbers don't lie. Over 1,500 Google and Zillow 5-star reviews, nearly 6,000 homes, and $2.5 billion in real estate sold. Call 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS and KMOX, 325. Speaking to kids, Adriana, who's our friend from Operation Food Search and raises hundreds of dollars every Christmas time with her brother, is on break, and she's online, and she's saying hello.
Hi, Adriana.
Hello, Adriana.
Also wanted to say hi to Emily. She is a teacher who normally doesn't get to watch the stream, but since it's summer break, look at what she's doing.
Love it. Let's go from 12-year-olds to, I don't know, how old is Madonna Infinity?
She's the ageless one. Dave.
She just recently did a show at Outdoors. I believe it was at, New York City. And she's getting crushed. And it's become a thing. And people are crying ageism. And they were very mean. Like, people in her social media and comments were like, oh, my God, you are older than my grandmother. Stop doing the sexy stuff. Just know. And, there's no right or wrong. I'm just curious what you guys think. Aging pop stars from our generation.
So she's getting crushed because they think she's too old to be acting like this?
Pretty much, yes.
Why do you want young girls acting like that?
Good question.
Like, why is there why do you expire from being sexy? And why do you want to keep that at as young as possible an age? There's just questions to consider.
Very good questions. Yeah. I'd love it if Kevin had answers.
I don't, because I'm a grown-ass man that, like, plays video games and wears sports jerseys and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not grown. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, quote, grown-up thing to do. The way people used to view it is like, well, you're a grown person. You should be wearing slacks and shirts with collars and things like that. I mean, and a lot of us don't do that. I do think that the problem to me with Madonna is not that her brand is sexy, that it's, you know, that's the way she is. It's just the relentless pursuit of what you used to be. It's just a little sad. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It's not something that people should judge. It's just a little sad. Like, your time passed. You're not selling records like you used to. And I feel this way about a lot of rock bands. When they're on tour late in their careers, and you're just like, man, Vince Neil can't sing anymore. Why are you doing this? Axl Rose can't sing anymore. What are we doing here, buddy? I view it that way rather than judging her
appearance,
style. Yeah.
The thing that you need in the morning, you know, when you first wake up.
Total Information AM.
I like to be informed with the news and like to know, like in the mornings, I like to know what's going on.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
It's always smart to know what's going on.
Your morning news and information.
The national and local news.
Weather.
Sports.
I like the traffic reports.
Total Information AM.
I listen to it in the mornings. It really gets me going.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma.
And I'm Tom Gamma.
When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
Taking care of your health shouldn't feel complicated. That's why we created NeoVitan to make nutrition easy. Our doctor-formulated vitamins are designed for real life and delivered straight to your door with our monthly subscription. No guesswork, no running out. Just clean, high-quality supplements manufactured in the USA using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Subscribe today at neovitan.com and take one simple step toward better daily nutrition. Visit neovitan.com and start making nutrition easy today.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, the highways are in pretty good shape this afternoon. Not a lot of folks went in this morning. The rain slowed you down, but it wasn't terrible. And this afternoon, the drive home looks excellent, really. There's just a little slowdown westbound 64 at the city limits. Southbound 55 from downtown all the way down into Festus looks great. Westbound 64 and westbound 70 from 270 out into St. Charles to Wentzville looks good. The one trouble spot we do have is a crash with lane blockage. Northbound 61 south of Highway U. Traffic is jammed back about midway between Highways P and Highway W, so a pretty solid jam. That's a big backup there on northbound 61. On the Illinois side, eastbound 70 just a little slow east of the Mutual Veterans over to 64, and eastbound 64, that usual backup approaching 255 through 157. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's 3:31. This time check is sponsored by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Listen up. If you have not paid self-employment, business, or individual taxes in years, the IRS will find you. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. I offer real solutions. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Story, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. At the Lance Story Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Save big money when you shop at Menards. Transform your home in one weekend with exterior wood stain and sealer from Dutch Boy. It provides one-coat protection on decks, fences, siding, and outdoor furniture. It repels rain after just 4 hours of application. That means quicker results, saving you both time and money. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help bring your dreams to life, 1 gallon at a time. Stop by your local Menards today.
Save big money at Menards.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
For dependable, no-pressure home comfort solutions, turn to Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and family-operated for over 40 years. Our team will work with you on a plan that fits your home's needs with financing available. And as always, your family's comfort is our family's business. Learn more at huffheating.com.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is brought to you by Huff Heating and AC.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. 334, Dave Murray is with us, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
I just said to the guys, like, oh, crap, the sun's coming out. But I somehow it's even worse when it's really hot and muggy. I mean, like gloomy too, I guess.
Yeah, well, the humidity is going to be outrageous over the next couple of days.
Great.
No.
Mainly because we had so much rain today. Now, some folks only saw maybe a quarter to a half inch, but other folks saw 4 or 5 inches of rain. Everything's kind of saturated and southerly flow, and it's going to be hardcore summer heat and humidity. But the emphasis is going to be the humidity. This all came from a little low pressure system that came out of the Texas Panhandle. Wasn't a cold front. Wasn't really a front at all. It's just a spin of low pressure, very slow moving. That's why we had the heavy rains and we had some flash flooding around from time to time. Still a chance of a couple of showers, couple of thunder showers as we go through the evening and the overnight, but very limited. Most of the stuff has pushed off to the east with that low pressure system, so it's moving away. There's still a chance, just because the humidity is going to be so high, of a couple of spots of stuff around tomorrow. But overall, a mix of clouds and sunshine, emphasis on the sun in the afternoon. 92 for the high tomorrow. But again, the humidity, we're going to see dew point temperatures well into the 70s, which is awful, just gross.
Dave, would you say that this is our first taste of the Godzilla El Nino?
Yeah, this is the first taste of Godzilla summer in St. Louis. This is classic summer in St. Louis. The good news, and it will be a heat wave. There'll be 3 days in a row of 90+ degree temperatures. Humidity will be intense. However, it's not going to last very long. Wednesday will be the hottest day of the week, 96 degrees. The record's 100 from 1953. 53 was a beast of a year in St. Louis for June temperatures. And then it's still hot and humid on Thursday, but there'll start to be an increase again of scattered showers and thunderstorms. And I think we're basically back into the mid to upper 80s come Friday. So this does not last very long.
I started to say, imagine those poor people in 1953 with no air conditioning. But I was one of those poor people in 1974. We didn't have air conditioning.
Oh, yeah. There's amazing heat in the St. Louis history. 66 a lot of people died in the St. Louis area from the heat. And again, it was 66. You would think, oh, maybe everybody had AC. No, they didn't. Not at all. And St. Louis, remember, is full of brick buildings. It's like a pizza oven. Once it gets hot, once it gets humid, that stuff doesn't get out of the house. So it's coming. It's coming.
All right.
I still think the summer is going to be okay, but we're going to have spells like this.
Of course. Yeah, and we had it so good for so long.
Right.
Just
right.
Got to be happy for what you had.
Yeah, and that's why this humidity is going to feel like just ugh.
Yeah.
Just like walking outside, you've got the wet washcloth on your head.
Yeah, we don't
Except
have our
it's been
sea legs.
steamed. Nope,
Yep.
not at all.
How was it in Rhode Island? Was it sort of like where you are now, like people not having air conditioners and such, or did it get pretty hot?
Oh no, Rhode Island can be a beast.
I didn't know that.
Especially in really any time in the summertime. June, July, August, September. Probably the hottest is August and September. But it was, AC somewhat limited to some extent. You hope for the sea breeze in Rhode Island. And again, folks are saying, why are you talking about Rhode Island? I kind of grew up there for a few years anyway. Went to high school there, went to college in Rhode Island. And no, but it can be 100 plus on any given July, August, September day.
I know nothing. That's what I'm learning.
You just think Rhode Island is full of sailboats and cool breezes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, aren't you guys like that? Like if I say Maine, it's a lobsterman.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Rhode Island, I just see a lighthouse. I'm like,
Everyone in Maine wears
had plenty of those. They're
wears
still there.
a yellow rain slicker all the time.
And then just asking if you want lobster.
The Morton fisherman.
Wonder what people
Google
think of.
Google it, you young kids.
What do people think of when we say Missouri?
Hicks.
Yeah,
Puppy mills.
middle of nowhere, flyover zone.
Yeah.
Heat, humidity.
And sometimes we live up to that.
I mean, on the coast, they're like, Missouri? Is that a country somewhere?
It's how people from Detroit are.
Or we're just a bunch of idiots.
Just different flavors.
We're also in flyover country, by the way.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Headlines, Rach?
Yes, let's start by talking about a man who was arrested and accused of sneaking onto a United Airlines flight with a fake boarding pass. So this 25-year-old man from Houston was arrested Friday in connection with an incident from May 18th and charged with felony impairment or interruption of a critical infrastructure facility. I've never heard of that before. I don't want to be charged with that. That sounds awful. Surveillance cameras captured him on the morning of May 18th, appearing to have issues with his boarding pass before speaking with transportation security officers. Those officers ultimately allowed him to have his photo taken and pass through security. So he was able to talk his way through. Then they caught him on surveillance camera speaking with United Airlines employees multiple times and attempting to board at least one flight. Those United employees turned him away because his boarding pass was failing to scan. But around 9 a.m., he joined a boarding line for a flight that was bound for Los Angeles. And he just kind of walked past the employees. He pretended like he was going to show his pass, but just, I guess, took advantage of a busy situation, got on there, picked an aisle seat, but then just kept going to the bathroom. And someone eventually took this seat that they had purchased.
Yeah.
There was not a seat for him. So he just kept going to the bathroom and coming out and going to the bathroom and coming out. And someone went to a flight attendant and was like, someone's in the bathroom right now while we're taxiing. And that's kind of when they started to figure out that something was amiss here.
Did they figure out whether he just wanted a free ride or was he something more nefarious than that?
I'm not seeing anything that it was like, God forbid, like a terrorism thing or anything like that. I think he was just trying to get a free ride on an airplane. He's being held at the Harris County Joint Processing Center and is scheduled to appear for a bail review.
If he's not completely insane and you're in charge, what punishment do you give someone who does something like this?
Banned for life.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm an airline, I'm not letting you fly again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the crime is, but whatever the normal punishment would be for that.
Yeah, maybe like a couple of weeks jail time, honestly, just because you are you are sparking fear in people.
Yes.
An airport and an airline and a flight, that is like, you can't do that stuff. You just can't.
I've said before, if I'm on your flight and you stand up and start singing or praying, I'm tackling your ass. I don't care if you're singing about Jesus or Zoroaster. I don't care. We're on a plane. We're in a flimsy metal tube at 40,000 feet.
Oh, man. Okay, speaking of that, or situations like this, did you see the viral video this weekend of the woman who was singing at the Vatican?
No.
Okay, so she's at the Vatican. It's a quiet zone. It's like a reverential. People are like taking pictures and just taking it in, the spiritual atmosphere of the Vatican. She starts to sing. And she has a beautiful voice, don't get me wrong, but she's singing and it's a religious song. It's about Jesus. But immediately security comes to her and they're like, ma'am, this is a quiet zone. You can't sing. And she's like, okay, got it. They walk away, start singing again. And she's singing loud, okay? They come back, ma'am, you can't be singing. She's like, just one moment. Just let me keep singing. They're like, no, you must leave now. Follow me. You have to leave. And she goes, sorry, everyone. Like apologizing to her audience that the show was cut short. Nobody cares. No one's like, oh,
that reminds me.
man.
Have you guys ever seen the lady? This has been a year or so, but the lady who evidently was up for her first Grammy for something stupid that no one ever listens to, and she's like, oh, blah blah blah. Oh, I love Jesus, and people are like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm up for my first Grammy. Maybe you didn't know. And so people are like, oh, good for you, good for you. And then like an hour later, she hasn't shut up, and people are like, I'm going to shove that Grammy up your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, she did this in the middle of St. Peter's Basilica. So this is one of the big draws for people that go there.
Yeah.
That's not meant for you to like do whatever, whether you're showing off or you're just feeling it because you're in a place that means something to you. It doesn't matter. You still have to respect people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I've always said about things like that, like you can criticize any religion. You can criticize your religion, but the religion was there before you. You can try to change it from inside, say like, hey, I became a deacon of this church, and I think that it's silly that we don't let women read prayers in a church or whatever it happens to be. But if you join the organization and they have rules,
At first, I was like, well, maybe she's just feeling it. Maybe she's got the spirit. Yeah. But then whenever she was like, sorry, everyone, that's when I was like, okay, so this is definitely
I think we have a pretty good idea.
I think it's
all about her.
If it
was being filmed, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. And if it was just, hey, you're feeling it in the moment, I understand that, but it doesn't mean you get to do what you want.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that is basically like being in someone else's home.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, you're a tourist, you're visiting, and they have rules, so you follow the rules.
That's interesting, though, isn't it?
What do you
just the whole thing? Like, I'm not a believer, but I'm afraid of it enough that I still think of it in the terms when I was a Christian, and I went to a charismatic church. I never spoke in tongues, but people did. People danced around tambourines, the whole thing. And if you were to do that at a non-charismatic church, they'd call the loony bin, right?
I mean,
and it's just like, and so I've always kind of thought, hey, if the spirit moves you, you got a bigger boss than this guy.
Yeah, but I mean, even taking out like she's at the wrong church for that, if someone was singing in the middle of the office here, after a minute, we'd all be like, hey, you can't stop. We're trying to work. You can't just be imposing whatever you're doing. You can't just put on a performance and expect everyone to be cool with it. Like, you're kind of throwing a wrench in things. Just chill.
People acting a fool. just people acting a fool.
Everyone is the star of their own movie, Dave.
Amen,
yes,
man.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
All righty.
Tell you guys about Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, and it's all good news, and it really is good news. First thing I'm going to say, and you guys know me well, I don't lie to you guys, Stewie is a good guy. He really is. I've not known him well for very long, but I think he's a good person. I really trust that he will look out for you, that he will tell you the truth, that his faith and his integrity are far more important than closing one more loan the wrong way. And so he does it the right way. He's a good man. He's a good business person. He has become very successful because of one decision he made. Two, to not have commissioned salespeople, which saved him a lot of money. And then the big decision he made is, I'm not going to pocket that money. I'm going to use it to pay my customers' fees. So that's why he has the bagel loan, because the bagel looks like a zero and you pay zero fees. The next thing that he did, which I don't know whether this is going to last this week, this year, I don't know. Stu hasn't told me that. But for a limited time, anyone who originates a new 30-year mortgage with Stewie is going to pay 1% less for the first year than you would normally. I'm going to give you his cell phone. Use it liberally. 314-324-4440, 324-4440, NMLS 226715.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, the biggest backup we have this afternoon is on Highway 61. This traffic reports the service of Artistic Decks. We have a crash with lane blockage northbound 61 south of Highway U. Traffic is jammed back to Flint Hill, back to Highway P on northbound 61. That's miles of traffic just crawling along. It's a pretty big mess. Eastbound Highway 70 is a little slow east of our city. North 270, the right lanes are busy from McKelvey. South 270, Olive de Ladue, kind of slow. Westbound 64, Clayton Skinker McCausland, a little off the pace. Southbound 55 around McNutt, but we do have a crash southbound 55 coming out of the city. It's off the roadway, but they have the right lane blocked just south of the Weber Road overpass, so traffic's heavy near River to Pear. Eastbound 70, the usual delays near Packers. Eastbound 64, 255 to 157's on the brakes. And Route 3 at Monsanto looks like a train crossing. Northbound is jammed back past Queenie. Southbound's almost jammed back to the Poplar. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Artistic Decks. For 26 years, we've been making dreams affordable in the St. Louis area. With an A-plus BBB rating, we're the team you can trust. Let us build your dream deck. Artistic Decks. For a free consultation, call us at 314-280-0821.
Grab your shades, your float trip gear, and join us June 17th for Chris and Amy Day at Busch Stadium.
We'll be broadcasting live from the Mississippi Yacht Club pop-up bar outside Gate 1, hanging with fans and serving up some fun behind the bar.
Live music, Fred Bird special guests will all be there. Plenty of chances to stop by and say hello.
Plus, you can sit with fellow Chris and Amy listeners in our special section for just $15.
June 17th.
Chris and Amy Day at the ballpark. $15 tickets.
Get your tickets now. Cardinals.com/Chris and Amy.
Go Cards.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Homeowners, I know a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. Hey, this is Kevin Wheeler. I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So, Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure that they get top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. That's why you call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX 351. We have the Sweet 16 of beef coming up next. Skip couldn't be here today, and Andrew's out.
I don't know why that sounds funnier than chicken. It just does.
Beef.
So we reached out and we brought in a sub from the building who will be here in about 10 minutes. So
we don't know who this is.
We do.
You do.
We're just not telling.
All right.
The Cardinal Report is sponsored by Rawlings. Visit the Rawlings experience at Westport. Wheels, I have a question about hustle.
Okay.
We saw Juan Soto not hustle and cost his team a run the other day. We see Pete Crow, who is a great outfielder, but it drops behind him and he doesn't even turn around to look. I guess he's too cool. My question is, dude, you can go back to the 1960s or the 1860s. There have always been people who don't hustle, or is it more of a thing these days?
That's a great question. I feel like there have always been people who did those things because otherwise, how would the previous generations have a standard to enforce if everybody hustled? Right? Like they always tell us, if our guys didn't hustle, they'd find the bench. Well, clearly that means people didn't, because otherwise we'd never know that.
True.
So I'm sure it's way more visible now. It's kind of like what we talked about a bit earlier. Like, are things happening more frequently, or do we just see it more? I think this case, it's probably that we see it more. There's a fine line with some of this, man. Like, when a game is on the line, like you tie game, late in the game, whatever, you probably need to make sure you're going 100%. In the case of Pete, he didn't see the ball. He had no idea where it was, and by the time it landed, he made the decision, which I think is incorrect, to stand there and watch his teammates go get it, because it just looks terrible. You should just put your head down and run as fast as you can, and if you don't get there, you don't get there. If your teammates beat you to the spot, that's fine, but at least make some effort to make up for the fact that you just lost a ball in the sky for some reason. The Juan Soto play I saw, and that's one of those plays, man, where that's an out 99% of the time. And if you run hard and you pull a hamstring, do you want to miss 2 weeks because you try to run out a ground ball that you're going to be safe 1% of the time? That was the 1% that you're going to be safe. It's the third inning of a game where your team is down 2-0. What's the calculus there? Do you go all out for that 1%?
See, maybe I never made it high
Actually,
enough.
your team was winning 2-0 at that time.
Yeah. I never had rules like that.
Yeah.
It was just you always hustled.
Well, generally speaking, that's the way to go, right? And I would say that if you're a young athlete, you should always go 100%. Your well-being does not have anything to do with whether your team's going to win a World Series or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you need to learn to do that. The pros are the ones that can learn when it's time to be like, okay, I don't need to risk pulling a hamstring and missing 3 weeks because I need to try to leg out this ground ball.
Speaking of pulling hamstrings, this is a live for Dr. Corey Solman, who is an orthopedic surgeon at Midwest Orthopedic and Spine Specialist. So he's the real deal. He's the guy. He is the OG, the MD, that when you or someone who you care about has had a pretty significant injury, he's the one going in there with the hardware and the hammers, and he's replacing knees, and he's doing hips, and I think he's the perfect place in his career. Like I said, he's been doing it now for decades, but he's not so long in the tooth that you're like, I don't know about this Solman guy. You know, he's younger than me. He's right at the pinnacle of his career. And I've told the story before when Nick had his appendicitis. One of the nicest aspects of that was that 2 or 3 of my surgeon buddies texted me in the middle of the night and said that they would be there for Nick. Meant the world to me. And you have the same kind of thing going for you here. You know, I'm telling you, you can call Dr. Corey Solman and tell me from the DGS, and that'll grease the wheels, and we will get you in there just as quickly as we can.